Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching or listening to us from. This is the Naija FC podcast. As always, where we bring you our raw, honest, unfiltered, even though people they vex, we give you our honest, unfiltered opinions on all the hottest and latest topics in Nigerian football. Always an exciting educational conversation. So thank you for joining us once again. My name is AyoT, and with me yet again, I have my reliable co-host.
It's with Layi. Thank you guys for joining.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you very much for joining us, guys. Another Tuesday, another episode of the Nigeria FC podcast. Even though this should have come yesterday, my apologies for that one, but we are live today. We have lots to talk about. We want to review the past weekend of action, talk about some Nigerian players. Ademola Lookman was on target. We're going to talk about that. Taiwo Awoni, we're going to talk about him. Victor Boniface, we'll talk about him. Remo Stars lifted the MPFL trophy. We'll get into that as well. Arokodare just got another achievement. We'll get into that. The Flying Eagles have qualified for the Under 20 World Cup. That's going to be an exciting topic to cover. Super Falcons are in action this month, so that's exciting. And they also have a new jersey. We'll look at that as well. And of course, the Unity Cup is coming up this month as well. So Super Falcons and Super Eagles both in action this month. Of course, on our 20 AFCON going on. We have a lot to cover. But as always, you guys know, I like to start by doing a review of the past weekend of action, just to highlight several Nigerian players who did well and who are worthy of praise for their performances over the weekend. This weekend, the list is quite shorter than it usually is because not too many people had noteworthy performances. So one goalkeeper to highlight, Adebayo Adeleye with 3 saves for Enosis Neon Paralimno in Cyprus. In defense, William Troost-Ekong, 2 blocks, 5 goals, 10 clearances, and a clean sheet for Al Khulud. They got a 1-0 victory over Al Etifak, so that was a big one for them as they edge closer to safety from relegation this season. We also had Igor Ogbu in action, good performance with 3 tackles, 3 clearances, and 8 goals on Slavia Prague in their Prague derby victory over Victor Olatunji's Sparta Prague, and also Uche Arerezem is on Sparta Prague. Leon Balogun was in action, kept a clean sheet, and made 3 clearances for Rangers. Chibuike Nwaiwu with a clean sheet, 2 blocks, 7 clearances, and 8 goals, one for Wolfsberger AC in Austria. And then Ibrahim Buhari with a clean sheet, 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, 6 goals, one for IF Elfsborg in Sweden. Over in the midfield, Bentley Akabueze created one chance for Salim Faspo in Turkey. Peace Efi got an assist for OFI Ofi Crete in Greece. Adetunji additional with 1 goal, 6 tackles, and 7 goals, one for Novi Pazza. David Moses put in a good performance with 2 chances created, 6 tackles, 12 goals, one for Slavia Prague in the Czech Republic. Alassane Yusuf scored his first goal for New England Revolution while also making 2 tackles, 2 chances created, 3 dribbles, 7 goals, all round midfield performance. Wilfred Ndidi with 4 interceptions, 5 clearances, and 5 goals, one for Leicester City in England. Mutunrayo Ezekiel was on target for Valencia CF in Spain. And then forwards, we have Richard Friday with a goal for Dynamo Samarkand. We have Ismail Taufik, 1 assist, 4 dribbles completed, 9 goals, one for Zonik Zapsi in Poland. Paul Mukairu, star of the week with 1 goal and 3 assists for Boluspor in Turkey. Alex Iwobi, 3 dribbles, 3 chances created for Fulham in England. Omar Rinsola Babajide with a goal for Udit Tenerife, fantastic strike. Ademola Lookman with a goal and 3 chances created for Atalanta. Emeka Eze scored for Pendikspor in Turkey. Geoffrey Chinedu was on target for Astana in Kazakhstan. Gif Monday scored another goal for Washington Spirit in the USA. John Bosco Samuel Kalu was on target for IFK Vanamo in Sweden. Rasheedat Ajibade back on the score sheet for Atletico de Madrid. Also 3 chances created in that one. James Adeni got 1 goal and 1 assist for Hapoel Hadera in Israel. Edna Emade, another goal for her, another chance created for Granada in Spain. We had Efe Lucky with an assist for Asane FK in Norway, I believe. Cyriel Dessers was on target for Rangers in Scotland. And then Stephen Ode with 1 goal and 1 assist for Randers in the Danish Super Liga. Our star of the week, like I already mentioned, was Paul Mukairu with 1 goal and 3 assists. A fantastic, fantastic performance. And our team of the week for this week was as follows. In goal, we had Adebayo Adeleye. In defense, we had William Troost-Ekong, Igor Ogbu, and Chibuike Nwaiwu. In midfield, Mukairu on the left, Ajibade on the right, David Moses and Alassane Yusuf in the center of the park. And then the 3 in attack were Ademola Lookman, Stephen Ode, and James Adeni. That is the roundup of Nigerian players that performed well over this past weekend. If I missed anybody, please forgive me. We track over 450 different Nigerian players, but of course, we are still humans, and there's always an opportunity or possibility of us missing out on one or two people. We encourage Nigerian footballers to always send us updates after their games so that we can make sure we have it on record. If we missed it, once again, I ask for your forgiveness. So, Smilai, before we get into the main topics of conversation today, based on all the Nigerian players that were in action this past weekend, who impressed you the most?
Oh, I mean, I have to go for Lookman. Ademola Lookman. I think, we're worried about he had this mini goal drought, that since he came back from the World Cup qualifier, he's not been scoring goals. But now, when he scored last weekend, this weekend again, he scored again. Though he's just helping Atlanta. He's not going to stay there next season, not going to be the next season. So for me, I'm pleased with him. Even the second goal, he created that opportunity before Ibrahim Sulaiman actually was scored that goal against Roma. For me, I'm really, really impressed with what he did against Roma. Roma is a big team. Don't forget that. In fact, if Inter did not win the Scudetto this year, they didn't win the Serie A. It was Roma that stopped them because they lost at home to Roma. So for me, Roma is not a small team. They've been on the rise since Cagliari and they actually took over the team. So I'm impressed with what Lukman did against them.
No, I have to say, Lookman did very well. We'll get into him a little bit deeper, but I want to give kudos to a young midfielder, David Moses, playing for Slavia Prague. Put in a very, very solid performance for his team. Doesn't get to start that many games, but he was given a start and he was really, really impressive. Made it into our team of the week. So I was just happy to see the kind of shifts that he puts in, and I hope that next season he can break into stardom and really become, a proper player because he looks like a good player. And I was looking at his actions after the game, and I said, composed in the midfield, did quite well, winning the ball back, winning tackles, and then moving the ball forward as well. I don't want to hype him yet, but based on what I've seen so far, I think he's somebody that can have a potential breakout season next year. So I think he's one to watch, and
Mhm.
he did well this past weekend. So I want to give him credit for that. And of course, I want to give credit to a player that obviously, if you know me, if you've been following, you know that I like personally. Back on the score sheets this weekend, Rasheedat Ajibade. It's been a very, very long season for her with injuries here and there. She's only made 16 starts this season, but she was able to score that goal that got her to her 10th goal contribution of the season. Obviously, her numbers are not quite where they were last season. But again, only 16 starts because injury after injury. If you haven't seen the reports, of course, she's expected to leave Atletico de Madrid after this season as well, looking for a good move to somewhere else in the world, to take another step in her career. So I was just happy to see her back on the score sheet, and it was a good finish as well. She also created three goal scoring chances in that game. If you want to watch the highlights, it's available on our YouTube channel, but you have to be a channel member. But a good performance for Rasheedat Ajibade. Smithai, I don't know if you saw that, but if you did you have any thoughts on Ajibade's return to the score sheet?
I'm happy that he's back. He's back on the score sheet. I've been following our podcast more than even following our game now. So, but but I'm happy she's back. When you see your best player, arguably your best player in the national team, getting back to their to full fitness now, when the AFCON is around the corner, it's a
Yeah.
good thing. It's a good thing. The team need their leader to be back in form. If we want to have any chance of winning this AFCON, she needs to be there. That is very important. So for me, I'm happy that she's there back in time for AFCON. So and also I hope that she can start a move before the AFCON or maybe after the AFCON. I don't know. Maybe a good AFCON
Can
can
change a lot
take
of
her to Man
things.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never know. Yeah, I'm happy she's back on
No,
the score sheet.
amazing,
Yeah,
amazing. Sticking in Spain,
yeah.
I want to highlight another Super Falcons player, Rinsola Babajide. She has been steadily having a good season coming into her own. Interestingly enough, she also just recently signed for the same agency that manages Rasheedat Ajibade. And she scored her 10th league goal of the season. Of course, she plays mainly as a winger. And she scored a very, very beautiful goal against Real Madrid. That game ended 1-1. I don't know. Did you see the goal? What did you think of Babajide's performance?
She's never in doubt. The quality is never in doubt. Babajide, I'm all that she was very impressed. But you can say about the numbers too. But I give her the numbers have not been. She started very good, but slightly deep in form. And for me, I'm happy that she's back. She just needs to continue to do what she knows how to do best. That's actually the most important thing. So, and if she can become very popular in that league too, you never know now. Big move
Do
could
you
be on the
think?
rise. Yeah,
Do you
so
think she, she already deserves more opportunity than she has got in the national team? Because for the Super Falcons, she hasn't really played that much like that. Substitute appearances here
yeah.
and there, sometimes not getting caught up. Do you think we need to see more of her?
To be honest with you, I think some of the games she played, she was not
Mm,
impressed. So we can't, start begging for something. For example, now when Jennifer Ishege played against was in New Zealand in the pre-World Cup qualifier, everybody was shouting, "Who's that girl? Who's that girl?" She was a college year there. We wanted her to come back again. I beg, bring her, bring her, bring her. But when they brought her in against Ethiopia in the Olympic qualifiers, she didn't do well now. So that much. So for me, I think that she needs to earn her spots. Don't forget that she plays the position where we are not
mm,
lacking, in that area. So even home based player will compete with you, in that area. So she needs to earn her spots. So for me, I think she can.
mm. Okay, I'm just talking about Super Falcons players. Another player in Spain, Edna Imade, scored her 16th goal of the season. She's the joint second top scorer, level in goals with Alexia Putellas. The only person that has scored more goals
Yeah.
than her in the league is Ella Pag.
Yes, Super Falcons
What do you
player.
say?
Yeah, it's just Super Falcons
So
player.
I mean, potential Super Falcons player.
But I heard about the news that she'll be called up for this
Has the
position.
list been announced? We haven't seen the list yet until the list has been announced.
But when
See,
you
that's the
spoke to
thing.
her, because
Every
people have said,
interaction that I've had with her, she continues to show a desire to potentially represent Nigeria.
but what is stopping Nigeria
I
from
don't
calling her
know.
up?
I genuinely don't know. Maybe the NFF have had talks with her behind and she said she does not want. But all the time that I've interacted with her, she tells me about Nigeria and that there's interest there. So I really cannot tell you what is stopping the NFF. Maybe she's telling me one thing or she's acting one way with me, and then bit.
Or she need to send a
I
WhatsApp
don't. I really
message.
don't know. In this life, you can never trust. You cannot trust anybody. So maybe she's acting somehow
Anybody.
on social media. Maybe because, well, I don't know. We can maybe because I'm posting
And
her or I'm promoting her.
I'm going
So
to
she maybe
even
okay. Let me just be nice.
I'm going to ask
But
on America. Yeah.
as far as I know, she continues to show interest. She continues to talk about Nigeria, and she continues to act like she wants to play for Nigeria. But of course, the reality of it is that Spain is a stronger team than us right now. Spain, they have more opportunities to win. So if we sleep on it and she gets a Spanish call up, it's easy for us to say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, don't accept Spain. Oh, they will do you. They will just play you one game. They won't call you again. Blah blah blah. But if we too have been watching and watching and watching, then can you blame her if she goes to play for Spain eventually? So I really don't know if there's
Yeah.
something behind the scenes that is stopping her call up. But all I know is that she's balling. She's joined second top scorer in Spanish Liga F with
Mm-hmm.
16 goals. She's a clinical finisher. Yes, she might have some bad games here and there, which is kind of normal, but she's why not it's funny because the Super Falcons were very similar to the Super Eagles in the sense that we are not
Mm-hmm.
lacking options up front. Everywhere from the wings to
Yeah.
the number 9, we have options from Ajibade to Monday to Okoronkwo to Echegini to Payne to Imadi that I'm talking about now. There's the young players like the Flourish Sebastians. People talk about Ajakai. We're not lacking options. But for me, the more the merrier, man. Let's just make sure that we call the best of the best. We call the ones that are most deserving. I'm sure that the coach would also be looking at certain players in the NWFL, that he wants to see as well. I was watching the NWFL this morning.
Those one play super
I
assist
was
now.
watching the game between Niger Rattles and Edo Queens this morning, and I was just it was a very interesting game, honestly, for different reasons. But the one thing that stuck with me is that I was like, the NWFL, the league organizers, the league body. I don't know, like, do they want fans to actually watch the game? Because for me, how
Mm-hmm.
are you playing a game at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday? It feels very crazy to me. Because normally the earliest time that you see matches is lunchtime, 12 p.m. kickoff. And
Mm-hmm.
even that is considered early kickoff. 12 p.m. early
Mm-hmm.
kickoff. But this is now a Tuesday, 8 a.m. People have work.
Don't have work
It's
everywhere.
like people have work, people have things to do. You want us really like
Yeah, his product
you
doesn't have
want
work.
somebody to wake up at 8 a.m. to go and watch match in stadium
Yeah, it's for jobless
on
people.
a Tuesday. Even weekend self, 8 a.m.
Yes.
is even early on a weekend. You now say Tuesday, 8 a.m. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, of course nobody's going to
Mm-hmm.
watch. Well, even the streaming. I was watching it on YouTube because they stream the game on YouTube. But the whole stream, maybe
Mm-hmm.
there were 20 people watching watching the stream. So it's like I,
Mm-hmm.
I did not understand it, but the game ended 2-0, everything. But I was just like, I don't know how we plan in Nigeria, but it is what it is, Sha. It is what it is. Shout out to SN. I think
Mm-hmm.
SN scored 2 goals in the game, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
influencers got to go.
But okay. That's that on the female players who performed well this past weekend. Let's get into some of the men. Let's talk about this young player.
Mm-hmm.
It's somebody that I've been following for some years. He played in England. Things didn't quite go well for him. Now he's in Turkey plying his trade. And this past week, he was our star of the week. I'm talking about Paul Mukairu. Paul Mukairu, 1 goal and 3 assists. His team won that game 7-0. They were chasing a spot to qualify for the promotion playoffs because he's playing in the second division. In their last match, they won 10-1. He scored 2 goals. In this match, they won 7-0. He's got 1 goal and 3 assists. 17 goals in two games, and they achieved their goal of qualifying for the playoffs. This season has been quite a good season for him. He has 7 goals and 12 assists throughout the season. Decent numbers. Hoping to be able to play in the top division next season. So, like, do you have any thoughts on Paul Mukairu? Do you think he's somebody that is a good player? I mean, he's already 25, so he's not like a young boy. But what do you think about him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I think he was in that league before. He was playing
Hmm.
Super League before he got his move to is it Copenhagen,
Yes.
in the Denmark league. So he was that league before. In fact, there was even something that said, "Oh, he should be moving to
Hmm.
Galatasaray or Transport or things like that." For me, it's like sometimes if there's no road, sometimes you trying to like go backwards, and see again if you can try. He's meant to have passed this level, but I'm happy that he's doing well now for himself. Let's hope that he actually works. He continues to actually work to do well. In my own opinion, good for him. He's playing in the second division. It was in Reading. Things didn't go well for him in Reading. Copenhagen, things did not really go well. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So for me, I just wish him the very best of luck. I hope they got the promotion to the first division so that he can also show his skills too. He has been there before, so maybe he can relaunch his career when he gets to the Turkish Super League.
Okay. I was going to talk about this later in the show, but I just saw a comment from someone now and I was searching it up and it appears to be true. Um, if you guys did not watch the game on was it Saturday or Sunday? Nottingham Forest versus Leicester City. Unfortunately, Super Eagles striker Taiwo Awoni collided with the post. After coming off the bench and trying to get on the end of a cross to get a goal. And this morning, Nottingham
Mm-hmm.
Forest announced that he had undergone an emergency surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But I am just seeing now, and it is being reported by the Daily Mail and the Sun in the UK, that he has been placed in an induced coma
Mm-hmm.
and is in the intensive care unit, currently undergoing treatment. And they are saying that the injury that he sustained could have been fatal. And bear in
Mm-hmm.
mind that after the injury, the medical team of Nottingham Forest still allowed him to come back on the field, but he was clearly not playing at a at
Mm-hmm.
anywhere close to healthy
Top
after they
league.
allowed him come back. It is very very man, Taiwo is one of the nicest people in all of Nigerian football. Humble guy, fantastic person. This is very very sad news. I'm praying for him. I'm praying for his family. When I heard the news of the surgery, I sent him a text message. He didn't reply, but of course I expected that. Okay, he's in the hospital. He wouldn't really be able to reply me, and I was just hoping that when he's okay, I'll just hear back from him. But to hear that he has been placed in an induced coma, it is very, very, very sad, man. Very sad. I pray that everything goes well. These are the fine margins that matter in football. And that's why after the game, the owner of Nottingham Forest ran on the pitch and was upset. A lot of people thought he was upset because they did not win the game. But the later came out and said it's because
Uh-huh.
of the medical team's bad decision making in terms of letting Awoni get back on the field. I am really, really praying for him, man. I like Taiwo as a human being. I like Taiwo as a footballer. I like him as a person. He's a good man. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
deserve things like this. I really, really, really do hope that he recovers fully. Taiwo has been so unlucky in his football career when it comes to injuries, from head collisions to all sorts of unfortunate incidents have just been happening to him. And this is a guy that has battled and battled and battled to come through the ranks to make it to his dream of playing in the English Premier League. I really do hope that he recovers as quickly as possible. Obviously, he's not going to be part of the Super Eagles this month. Let's not. There's more important things that he needs to focus on right now. But I'm mostly praying for him, praying for his brother, for his wife, for his sister, the rest of his
Mm-hmm.
family, everyone that loves him. I pray that he gets a speedy recovery. They say he's in a stable condition, so that is good. But hopefully nothing gets worse. Hopefully when he wakes up, he's feeling good. This is very,
Mm-hmm.
very, very sad, man. Very sad. Smidlai, what do you
Mm-hmm.
think about this?
For me, I think I think the medical staff should be questioned, because health is number one thing. When I saw that injury, when the guy passed the ball, was he a Langa? I was like, oh my days, don't even pass this ball again. Well, I know that Taiwo is desperate to score. He wants to launch into that ball. He's a very strong guy, strong character. For me, I just think that it's unfortunate. There's less risk can take in football. So for me, I just think that those guys have just take him off directly. Let him just go and get attended to. For me now, you don't know what even happened before, after the injury to the when the game actually what ended. So for me, I know for sure that his name was included in the game for Unity Cup. But unfortunately, the list have to be they have to adjust the list today, because of because of what really actually what happened. So, in my own opinion, I just wish him quick recovery. I hope he recovers well and come back stronger. That was a strong man. Remember the head collision with Felix Dokai, when he was in Germany. So he came back and he came back stronger, scoring goals like no man's business. For Atebali. So for me, for Union Berlin, sorry. So for me, I wish him quick recovery. I know that he will bounce back from all these things. They're just temporary setbacks.
It's very, very unfortunate, man. Very unfortunate. This is not the kind of thing that we wish on anybody, whether you like the player or not, whether you support the player or not.
Mm-hmm,
This is not something that you wish on anybody. I'm really, really rooting for Taiwo, man.
mm-hmm,
Football is a football is a tough sport sometimes. And when I saw that collision with the post, I was like, I could feel the pain from watching on my TV, and I hope that he's okay. I hope that he's okay. Obviously, he's not okay right now, but I hope that he recovers. And if he needs to take, I don't know how long he needs to take to recover, but they should give him enough time to recover. These these
mm-hmm,
these things when it comes to health and safety of players, we obviously we know that things are great in the UK. They take good care of players, but poor judgment by the medical team, and this is
mm-hmm,
this is the result of that. So I really do hope that he recovers fully. I hope that he recovers fast. He needs to take all the time that he needs, please. He should take. He shouldn't feel pressure to come back. He shouldn't feel pressure to, obviously he wants to impress because this season has been very up and down. But I really do hope that things go well. Things go well for him. My prayers to Taiwo. I know him. I know his brother. I know his sister-in-law. I don't know his wife personally, but I know of her. They're all great people, man. Great people. So I really do hope that God is with them in this period, and I know that they'll be praying for him. hopefully everything goes well for him. Hopefully everything goes well. It's sad when something like this happens to any Nigerian player. This one is paining me extra because this is somebody that is a friend. Taiwo is a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and it sucks. It sucks that this happens. It sucks that this happens. Okay, I don't even know how to move on, but you know, it sucks, man. It sucks. If you know him, please, or even if you don't know him, even if you don't like him, please say a prayer for him. Send him your love. If you know his family, please send them your love, because obviously this is not something going out to work for your daily 2K. You don't expect things like this to happen. You don't expect things like this to happen. But football, this is further evidence that every day that a footballer steps on the field, as much as yes, is a fun game, as much as yes, they get paid millions, they are putting a lot on the line as well. They are putting a lot on the line to entertain
Mm-hmm.
us. Um, so my prayers to Taiwa Awoni. My prayers to Taiwa Awoni. Okay, let's go back to some Nigerian players that want to talk about from this past weekend. This boy, Smilai, Samuel Chukwueze.
Mm-hmm.
We've spoken about Chukwueze a number of times. Did you watch the game this past weekend? Chukwueze
Yeah, what's
came
some
off
of
the
the game?
bench and he turned things around for AC Milan. Sort of
Yeah.
involved in all three, very involved in the last two goals, as they came from behind to win that game. Ran them ragged, dribbling, passing, creating opportunities. The question that we always ask is, why can't he do it on a consistent basis? But the question that I have for you today, do you think he needs more game time? Because one thing that players always talk about, they need games, they need reps. You cannot play me 15 minutes today. You don't now play me for the next three games. Then you bring me on another 10 minutes after four matches and expect me to come and be a superstar. Do you think Chukwueze deserves more game time for AC Milan?
For me, the former coach, is it Fonseca? He tried his best. Despite that he wasn't even playing there, he wasn't even playing well. He gave him opportunity, several times. And that even cost him his job, at the end of the day. So he gave him that time to, even with the former coach, Pioli, he gave him the opportunity to play for that club, despite that he wasn't even performing on a regular basis. The issue is that he cannot trust him. That is the fact. AyoT. He cannot trust him. How many coaches have done this one for him now? How many times? Pioli did it. Fonseca did it. So how many? So if, for example, now he produced today now, maybe you're going to start him in the next game and he fumble again, back to the bench. You need to tune out performances on a regular basis. Now I told you something last season at the start. They're like, oh, he can be the main man this season. Was already there. No. What happened? It's just for him to be able to do it on a regular basis. So if more time, let him come on the bench first and come and change three games three times. Then he can talk about more time.
Hmm,
That's it.
hmm.
Yes.
I mean, Samuel Chukwueze is a player that I like. I think, of course, we've spoken about him. Very skilled, very talented. I am forced to believe that maybe there might be one or two off the field issues that we're not very privy to. Maybe the way he
Mhm.
trains, maybe his consistency in training, things like that. That are maybe not allowing him to get as many opportunities as we would like him to have. But he's a quality player. He showed yet again in their last game the talent that he has and what he can do, the impact that he can make on a game. But like you said, at this level, you need to be consistent. The difference between a good player and a great player is being able to produce week in, week out versus producing 1 week out of four or 1 week out of five. I
Mhm.
would personally still like to see him maybe get a run of matches though. Can they give him 60 minutes per game for 3 4 matches and let's see how he does. And if he fumbles, then everybody, I'll raise up my hand and say, okay, you gave him, two 240 minutes, you gave him 300 minutes, he didn't do well, fine. But I just think that the stop start kind of minutes that he gets cannot really be doing him any favors. He has quality. He has quality. So it's something that I would like to see him do well. I know that a lot of fans, once a Nigerian player doesn't get to play that often, the next thing that people say is, "Oh, he needs to find a new club. He needs to find a new club." As if in any club you go to, some people are as if there are not some people that are on the bench. Not everybody can be a starter. That's just the unfortunate reality. But I don't think that he should quit AC Milan unless they've told him behind the scenes that they don't believe in him or they don't care about him or they don't want him. I don't necessarily think that he should quit AC Milan. I think he should try improve his efforts in training, try to have more of an impact when he gets game time. I hope that the coach is able to give him consistent run of games, and then from there we can really, really assess him because I just think it's hard for any player when you are playing stop start. He can have a game like this, but then the next game, if he's not playing, if he's on the bench, if you only bring him on for the last 10 minutes of the game and expect him to have the same kind of impact, excuse me, it's not always going to happen like that. So because before this game, he was on the bench 3 games in a row. He didn't come on. So I think the coach just needs to maybe have more faith in him, and maybe it is him that needs to show something in training for the coach to have more faith. I don't know. I'm not in their training. I haven't spoken to the coach, but I like him. I think he's a talented player, one of the most talented players that we have on the national team. And I want him to have that kind of form so that when he comes to the national team, he can impress as well. Because we know that he has also not been doing too well for us of recent. So I wish him all the best, man. I wish him all the best. I personally want him to have some more game time. But I'm not the coach. I don't get to decide. I don't get to decide, unfortunately. Let me just say a big thank you to KZ for the support. We really appreciate you. I believe he was sending these hearts to Taiwa Winnie. We're not going to Taiwa Winnie, no go no say give money for here, but thank you very much for your support. KZ has opened the floor, so please, guys, throughout the show, if you want us to highlight your comments, if you want us to take a question from you, or if you just want to show your support, please, please, please leave a super chat. It helps to support the work that we do. It helps us to pay staff. It helps us to create more content and a lot more. Shout out to Mo. Mo is a member of the channel, and he says, "Make we leave Chukwueze alone. He is not consistent and needs to go to a lower club where he can continue to play regularly." I mean, it's an opinion. I don't think it's time for him to give up yet. We're all excited for him when he got this Milan move, but I understand your opinion, and I respect your opinion. Okay, let's talk about another player. I think we spoke about him last week, but he was on target again this week. I'm talking about Cyriel Dessers. Not only him, but Leon Balogun was also impressive for Rangers. Smilai, these two players, Cyriel Dessers and Leon Balogun, would you say they are a lock for the Unity Cup coming up later this month? Or is there anything that can stop them from getting called up?
Yeah, it depends on. I think I think when we get to Unity Cup, I think I will discuss
Hmm,
more about
okay.
players' invitation and so on. So for me, an injury report says that that was actually was invited for that Unity Cup. So we see exactly maybe it's false or it's true. But I knew that that just this you have been out today. They're just making last final adjustment. I think it's gonna be hard for Friday.
Okay, so we'll be looking forward to that. Okay, let's move on very quickly because we'll still talk about the Unity Cup later in the show. Super Eagles forward, current best player in Africa, Ademola Lookman, man of the match award, a goal for Atalanta, and he has now, produced his best ever return in a season with 20 goals this season. It's funny how life works because last year that everybody was bigging him up, that it looked as if he was so fantastic. He only scored 17 goals, but he also had 9 assists in 45 total appearances. This season, Lookman has 20 goals and 6 assists in all competitions in 39 games. But of course, he's not getting the same hype, the same praise that he got last season. This is his best ever return when it comes to goals in a season, and it ties his best ever goals and assist contribution with 26 that he also had last season. So it's me like, what do you think of Lookman's performance this weekend? I mean, you already kind of spoke about that, but how do you assess his
Yeah.
season as a whole, as he has helped Atalanta to qualify for the UEFA Champions League again?
Good season. Good season. For me, there's no way you can what put it. I think it's the third highest goal scorer in Syria. After Utigwe and actually who's that guy again? Not Martinez. I think it's ahead of Martinez. I think maybe
No,
Turam.
is Ratigui and Moise Kean.
Okay, Moskin. Then is the
Yeah,
third one. Eh?
third.
Okay, he's the third one. Okay, he's actually the third one. So for me, good season for him again. Don't forget that the responsibility for him is not for him to score goals. It's to create most times. He's been able to actually what to score goals. Those guys you see mentioned there, Moiskin and Rodrigo, they are the major goal scorers. So it's not meant to his name is not meant to be there. But for him to be getting those numbers, fantastic season for him. And I'm really actually happy that he's doing this, for his club. Don't forget that he's not their penalty taker. Maybe probably if he was scoring
Mm.
penalties, if he has penalties, maybe we competing with the will be the top scorer of that league. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. He scored a lot of big goals again. Don't forget, he scored how many goals against the league champion, the league leaders. Two goals against
Mm.
Napoli. So for me, it has been even I think he scored against Juve too.
He scored
So I don't
against
know. I
Juve.
think, yeah,
Yeah,
he
you're
scored
right.
against Juve. Against Juve. So for me, I think I had a very good season. But you can't compare with the last season. Last season was a magical
Mm.
season.
Last season was a magical season. I
Yeah,
mean, and that's hat trick that he scored in the final of the Europa League. That's something that
yeah. Something.
nobody can forget. Fantastic season. I'm very happy for him. Very impressed with his performance, despite the setbacks this season, despite the injuries, despite the fallout with his coach. Still producing at a high clip. 20 goals in a season is not easy. Players, I don't care where you play, 20 goals in a season is not easy. And then playing in the Serie A and the UEFA Champions League makes it even tougher, even more difficult. And he has delivered. I think without a doubt in my mind, Ademola Lookman is one of the best wingers in the world. I think a serious team needs to come for him. I want to see him playing at a bigger team. He has served Atalanta well. He has done well for them. He's going to leave them on a high after qualifying them or helping them qualify to the UEFA Champions League yet again. And I think it's time for him to make that step. Go and make some more money in a bigger team, playing for titles consistently, playing and maybe competing in the UEFA Champions League, at least getting as far as quarterfinal, semi-final, things like that. I love Ademola Lookman as a player, man. And one thing that will make me love him forever is how he got to the CAF award stage and started speaking Yoruba when he was giving his speech. It just touched me personally because we see most of our stars, they go there and then they start faking accents and trying to sound like what they are not. But somebody went there wearing his trad, embracing his culture. Even if it was an Igbo person that went to speak Igbo, it would have been the same thing because I know some people will come and say no because Yoruba. No, just even if it was a Hausa man that went there speaking, just the fact that he was embracing his culture, embracing his language, showing his Nigerianness to the full. And this is a player that, if we go by what some people have said about our football, about foreign born players, maybe he will not even have got the chance to represent us. He will not have got the chance to put
Mhm.
Nigeria in the limelight like that. And I think Ademola Lookman is also an example of what I've been saying recently about how people should stop getting upset because maybe somebody says you failed in the past, or even because you fail. Whether you're a football player, whether you're doing something else in your life, failure is part of the recipe for success. Ademola Lookman failed before in the English Premier League. He failed. He failed when he was playing for RB Leipzig, but he got a move to Atalanta eventually, and he has way exceeded expectations and he has over succeeded. He has done
Mhm.
things that he could only have dreamt of. And we can now see that the best is yet to come from him. He has grown into a top quality player, and I expect him, whichever move he makes, I expect it to be a good move for him. I expect him to perform at a high clip. And there's no reason why we cannot see Ademola Lookman getting nominated for another CAF Player of the Year award. There's no reason why we cannot see him being talked about as one of the top players when it comes to the world football, Ballon d'Or nomination and things like that. So a big, big, big shout out to Ademola Lookman. 20 goals this season, the best return yet in his career. And I know that there is so, so, so much more that we have not seen from him yet. Ademola Lookman, man. Fantastic, fantastic player. And if you haven't seen the goal, go check it out because it was a good goal as well. Once Lookman has that ball on his like, you see his left foot like this and he turns. The keeper better just start praying to God or praying to whoever he prays to because Lookman is deadly in those positions, man. He's deadly in those positions. And I love the fact that he never looks like he's stressed when he's playing. He always seems calm, he always seems composed, just having a nice time, moving with ease, and you can just tell that he wants to deliver and he wants to show himself. So fantastic player, man. Fantastic player. Of course, this year, because of the likes of Hakimi, the likes of Mo Salah, the likes of Omar Mamouche, the likes of Sehu Gerassi, the likes of Victor Osimhen, you know, I don't know if he's going to be recognized as much as we would like him to, because those players, you can say objectively that maybe they had better seasons than he did. But still, like I said, it is just interesting that he has achieved his best ever tally in terms of goals, joint best ever in terms of goals and assists. But the atmosphere, people are not really talking about it like doing what he's doing. So I wanted to highlight that today, and I hope that he continues to show us the kind of top quality player that we know that he is. So shout out to Ademola Lookman. Fantastic season for him. And I think Atalanta still have, what is it, 2 games to go against Genoa and against Parma. So maybe he can still get at least one more goal, and he gets his best ever goals and assist tally for a season. And I think I'm satisfied as a supporter of his and as a Nigerian. Fantastic player, fantastic player. Okay, that is that on Ademola Lookman. Someone said he's still going to make top 10 in CAF awards. Probably, yeah, probably top 10. There's always a chance. Okay, final call, guys. Please, if you are watching us on other social media platforms, not named YouTube, please go over to YouTube now. Thank you to everyone that has been tuned in on Instagram, but the stream is about to end on Instagram. Thank you to everyone on Facebook. The stream is about to end on Facebook. If you're on X, the stream is about to end on X. So please join us on YouTube. Search for at Eagles Tracker NG on YouTube. You can also just type in Eagles Tracker. You can type in the Nigeria FC podcast. You will see our beautiful green logo. You will see that we are live. Click on the live, subscribe to the channel, engage with us in the chat, like the video, share with your friends, leave super chats, and you can enjoy the full stream uninterrupted. But we are now going to cut the stream off on other social media platforms. So please join us on YouTube, and may the good Lord bless you as you do so. Thank you very much. Okay, that is that on the weekend. That is that. Shout out to all the Nigerian players who performed well. And once again, our prayers for and to Taiwo Awoni and his family. We wish him a speedy recovery. And I hope that things are not as bad as they might seem in news reports and in on over text. Um, yeah. Okay. Away from our abroad stars, let's talk about our local stars. The champions of the Nigerian Professional Football League have been crowned, and the stars of Remo have lifted the trophy. Of course, we know that some Nigerian Super Eagles players are playing for Remo Stars, the likes of Sadiq Bendin, the likes of Kayode Bankole, the coach Daniel Ogumodede. Fantastic performance from them throughout the season. They celebrated with the title lift. Looked like a good presentation. All the players were happy, excited. So it's been like, how do you rate Remo Stars season this year? What impressed you? What did not impress you? Give us your overall thoughts on their season and them winning the league title.
For me, not to take anything away from what Remo Stars achieved, I think they did well. They have been knocking on the doors for so many years now. Second, third, second. But now they are the champion of the MPFA. In fact, I would say that they are the most consistent, club side in Nigeria. For them to be in the top three for like 4 to 5 years or so, that tells you that the coach and also the owner, they are doing the right thing. That is actually what my take on that. But what just baffles me is that the champion of the Nigerian Premier League lost 10 games. In the course of the season, they scored only 49 goals.
Most competitive league in Africa now. Come on now.
Yes, they lost 10 games,
Mm.
scored 49 goals. You know, for me, I just think that and even that strike their if you look at the top scorer, how many of their players actually what in the top 10? How many of their players actually what in the top 10? No, those will tell you that we are really lacking what? Lacking goals in the league. For me, I give them their flowers because if you are to mention a player, a owner that deserves this league, it's going to be Kunle National. He have been doing well for the league, doing well for the Nigerian national team too. You can see that the way he's accommodating the Falcons now. I think he's going to accommodate the Falcons and also what
Accommodating NWFL, everything now.
everything. So I just think that he deserve it. But for me, not if I'm to pick any team that should win this league, it's Remo Stars. They retain one of their players from last season, and I just hope that the man can invest invest in players, not only domestically. Look abroad, invest in players, and actually what bring them in. Let's see, maybe from there they can actually what compete. I
Hmm.
know it's very hard for you to buy players, pay them in dollars, but I know some players that are on 500 euros now, maybe 700 euros. I don't know, when you play the third divisions or fourth division in the Portugal league and everything. So if you are paying that player a million naira in a month and less tax, you can stay at home, you have a very serene, good environment. I think that player can buy into that idea too. So for me, I just think you could look beyond the Nigeria, see maybe we can get some Nigeria players that left, that traveled out that you can bring back, and also look
Hmm.
at all these Malians, Cameroonians, where they can actually what coming, good players in their league coming and actually what play for the team. For me, I think if the team want to make any impact next year's CAF Champions League, I think that they need to actually what reinforce. And he should also need to, if he wants, his target should be to qualify for the group stage now of the CAF Champions League since he already conquered Nigeria.
Hmm. And I mean, Smila, you kind of hinted at what I wanted to ask you, but can we trust them in the CAF Champions League? Like, I know you said they need to invest, they need to sign some players, but is Remo Stars, based on what we've seen in the league, based on what we know about their management, is Remo Stars a team that we can look at and say, no, they are going to get things right. They are going to do well in the CAF Champions League.
For me, I think it's just the way they run the business. The Remo Stars project, I think, is like a charity project. I don't think
Hmm.
he's really interested in that project. I think his pet project really is beyond limit. So he thinks that okay, players that cannot go abroad from beyond limit, exceptional players from beyond limit that cannot travel abroad directly, they fit into Remo Stars. So it's not been going different places to go and buy big stars. So I think that is his major thing. So we can't trust them in the league, in the CAF Champions League. In fact, even if the CAF Confederations Cup, you can't even trust them because they don't have the players to play in that in the CAF Champions League. So for me, just a win maybe against a team from a republic. Then when they play them against a Moroccan team, that's the end of the road. Or a South African team, that's the end of the road. So if you want to compete at that level, it needs to get players in, and it needs to. And secondly, too, it needs to upgrade the stadium to be able to host CAF B because they can play their first United games in Kenya, but when they get to a stage, they have to leave that place and go and play like group stages
You know,
in
you.
private. So at that point, there is no advantage again. So you need to like look for a way they can upgrade that stadium to play. So they can maybe probably actually play like a CAF B games there.
Hmm.
So that is it.
Okay, okay. That is great. That is great. Shout out to Remo Stars of Ikene.
Mhm.
Fantastic. What Kunle Shoname has been doing with them has been good so far. The MPFL is a league that we have a lot to improve on, but we still have to give credit where credit is due, and they have duly won the league title. And I like for me, the question about if they can do well in the CAF Champions League is yet to be seen. I don't watch the African leagues as much as, and I'm not even talking about Nigeria in particular. Whether it be Egypt, Tanzania, Morocco, Mozambique, I don't really watch Algeria. I don't watch too much of the African leagues like that. I try to watch the CAF Champions League games, and the Confederations Cup games, especially the ones that have Nigerian players. But other than that, I don't really be watching the individual leagues that much. But we know that Nigerian teams have had the tendency to go and disappoint for the most part. And I'm really hoping that they can change the narrative, with the right investment, with the right preparation, the right planning. I believe that they're a team that can actually change that and that can give us a good display on the continent. When I spoke with Anayo Iwala, for example, in the interview that I did with him on the Home of Nigerian Football podcast, he said that the biggest difference is the way Nigerian teams approach it. That for us, just for us to qualify for the tournament is seen as an achievement. But for these teams, they're going with the mindset of they need to win or they haven't done something. So I hope that Remo Stars can approach it with that kind of mindset that they need to win. And what are the things that they need to do for them to win? And I hope that they can put in the right investment, the right planning, the right organization. I don't know exactly what things they would need to change in their stadium to be able to host the CAF games, but if it's something that is within reason, within budget, and that would have long-lasting benefits for them beyond even just this season, something that will just make the stadium better, whether it's be maybe the press area, if it's something that they can expand without having to, do too much construction or anything like that, they should do it. Is worthwhile. It adds to the infrastructure of Nigerian football. At least in the future, if Nigeria won't bid to host something and then we choose to use their stadium, they will also receive some extra funding from NFF if we're able to win that kind of bid. So I hope that they are able to do it. I really believe that they already have some of the best players in the Nigerian Premier League, even though we would expect some of them to depart. But they have the organization, the resources to also sign some of the best that don't necessarily play for them. And some of our returning legends, the ones that are maybe just looking for small football to play. If Kunle Shoname can just tempt them with a little bit of, oh yeah, come and play for us, we'll pay you 10 million a month. It's not, yes, it's not European salary, but at least if you just come do one or two things, look at what Branideye is doing with Eyimba, just look at what Ahmed Musa is doing with Kano Pillars. It adds more credibility to the team, adds more credibility to the club. It's going to help the club to generate more revenue, etc. So a fantastic one, man, a fantastic one. Once again, I love what they're doing, and I hope that they are able to achieve a good result. First of all, they need to qualify first, Abi. Yes. But that qualification one, I let me not doubt them. They will qualify. But when
For
they
what?
get for the what do you say?
Qualify for what?
The Champions League.
They will not qualify.
You don't think they will qualify for the Champions League?
They will not. If they continue like this, they will not qualify. Well, qualify where? They have played 6 games in CAF competition. They won only one.
Hmm.
They will not qualify with this level. They will not qualify. Somebody asked me a question. I don't know if you're going to pay the super cash out.
Yeah, I'll get to it. But no, just tell me more. Like I want to understand why you don't think they can even qualify for the tournament.
See, let me tell you something there. There's so many things that you do when you want to play competition. Let me give you Rangers example. When I came here
Hmm.
and I told you about that Rangers, I was so disappointed. And because our man is there, I have to still say the truth. Your players are traveling in batches to go and play game. You arrive maybe a day before or something and you want to win game. Is it possible?
Hmm.
The glory days of Enyimba. Enyimba go to Europe, they go to Egypt with their cook. There's always an advanced party in North Africa waiting for them to arrive, surveying, making sure that, oh, don't go this place. So, when you want to, it's not just on the pitch. There's more to it that you must tackle. That's why you see Enyimba will go to North Africa to go and beat Esperance. We go there to go and get to the against GS Kabili of Algeria, to the Lions Den. So for me, I don't see that one in Remo. For example, now, Enyimba, before they won the CAF Champions League, they played friendly game against Inter Milan. Remo Stars went for preseason against in Benin Republic, just crossing them from a border for preseason. Orlando Pirates played against Sevilla. You saw that game now in the preseason last year. Sundance went to Belgium, they went to Switzerland. These people are going to Benin and Togo to go and play friendly game. And you tell me that they are serious. Hey,
Okay. Let me go back to the comments very quickly. Let me go back to the comments. Just looking at what some other people were saying. Monsong Bado said your boy was faking accent after collecting best player in Belgium. No be me talk that one. No. No be me talk that one. No be me talk that one. Okay. Real K says Salah or Hakimi for CAF Player of the Year. Hakimi for me. That's what Real K is saying. Okay.
Hakimi for me.
Okay. Let's see what.
Hakimi,
Mo says without playing in their own stadium, it is going to be difficult to play in the group stage of CAF competitions. So he's talking about if they're not able to get their stadium in the right order, then it is going to be difficult for them because again they wouldn't have that clear home advantage.
mm-hmm.
Logistics Jeff says a lot of members are dropping comments. I don't see you addressing them. Logistics Jeff, maybe you are not sure what I mean by being a member of the channel, but if you go to our homepage, you will see a button that says join. You click join. There are three different tiers of membership that you can join. It costs money. When you subscribe as a member, it would let you know that you've joined as a member. It would give you a logo beside your name in the comments. So if you're looking at the comments, people like Monsieur Gumbade, people like Victor Cobham, you see that when they leave comments, there's a sign, a symbol that's beside their name. That logo shows membership. So logistics, Jeff, you are not yet a member, but I know you want to sign up. So just find the join button, sign up as a member, and then I promise I'll address your comments. Thank you very much. And anybody else who wants to join as a member, please, please, please feel free. Okay. Fabi Turu, thank you very much for the super chat. Fabi Turu, I don't think I've seen this name on our show before, so thank you. Maybe you're a new person on our show. We appreciate you. Boss Milai, he's directing a question at you. He said, Smith, why are we so poor in CAF competitions? Shout out to you, Ayo and Smith Lai, and his funny theatrics whenever he's analyzing football. You guys are doing a great job. Wish Taiwo a quick recovery. Okay, so he's hailing us, but he's also asking a question. Smith, why are we so poor in CAF competitions? Can you answer his question?
I said it. Preparation. Preparation. See, West Africa, not only Nigeria, we are okay with participation in this CAF Champions League. But like you asked Adayo Wala, say that it's not about participation. It's for them to go there and win. For example, now, like by this my brother, Omobolaji said that they can do well. What I'm seeing currently now, the team they have now cannot compete very well in the CAF Champions League. They need to get some areas in that team fortified. They need to improve that team very well. So if you don't improve a team to a certain level, they cannot perform. For example, now in the league, you cannot use the Nigerian league to measure the standard of the standards. Never. Because the players you face in the Nigerian league, I don't think they are good enough in Nigerian Premier League. So if you really want to get, maybe probably, you go elsewhere to get some players to help you. I'm saying these things based on I've seen teams prepare for CAF competitions before. Our clubs now, they don't prepare the way again. Out of the team that is going to the continent, maybe probably Rivers and Remo are going to the CAF Champions League. Only Remo will be traveling with value jet
Mm.
to this thing. Rangers will be where no, not Rangers. The other one will be taking commercial travelers. So preparation is very key. You have to be prepared, especially to be very key. And that is the reason why we are not sure we're doing well. Another thing is that I think standard two slightly will drop. We don't produce the best league players again. The league players we have now, they cannot really compete at the highest level, in my own opinion. Before, we used to get players that uh, can be able to compete in Belgium and so on. But our best players in the league now, they go and play in Baghdad, in Afghanistan, and you really want to be tracking them too in Bangladesh. Eh? In fact, I was saying that one of our players got sent home. The best man in the league from Spain. He was in the Villarreal under Villarreal B. He had been sent away because he could not meet up. A player that was bossing the MPFA, he could not meet up. So we don't have the requirement. We have to humble ourselves. We don't produce the best player now. So we don't have the best player in the league. So if you want to compete, you have to open the league, pay the players well, make it attractive, prepare more. I think we'll compete. And the draws too. Pray that they don't pair you with North Africa in the first two rounds. If they pair you again, maybe a Royal of Guinea, Curtis Sport of Cameroon that doesn't have stadium. No, they have stadium there. So that can come and play both legs, both legs in your stadium. That one is good. You might have to be lucky with the draws.
But Smilai, is it so? Why do you think we're not doing these things? Is it just a case of teams don't have the money to attract the right talent, to give the players the right tools that they need? Like, is it simply a financial thing, or is the money there and we're just the teams are just poorly run and they don't want to do the right things? Like, what exactly is the issue?
For me, I think we just call it Nigeria Professional Football League. They are not professional.
Hmm.
A football league that coaches is threatening players in the box. You know that the fake people are faking accidents. They are putting blood on their body so that they don't want to go and honor game. There's no body to invest in. There's some things that happen in the league. A league that they will finish, everyone run away because he has done the best perform. For me, I just think that the way they run the league, that is a big problem.
I saw it to cut you off. I saw the picture of I think Ikorodu City played against, was it Shooting Stars, and that the referee had to borrow police uniform to dress as police to leave the stadium. And I just shook my head that, oh well, that
Yeah,
was.
that is what we see. You have tasted it too now. You said a story before that you were watching that you saw. Maybe we are going to any. So
I've
it's
seen it firsthand as well. I've seen
eh,
that. Yeah.
so this is oligarchy in Nigerian football. It didn't start today. It started before, but the level that the thing is now, I think it's too much. So it's not run professionally, and for also me, another thing is that you also don't have the right players now. I have to be honest with you. People think I'm joking. The level of talent we're developing in Nigeria now is not the requirement. It's like people are asking for the length of sticks to be 9. We're still cutting 5, and the instrument is cutting 5. It's not even efficient. It's not even good. So we don't have the right level of talent now. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. People think that I'm joking. Go and check our export to Europe now. Go and check them. So I just think that is one of the major problems I want to actually address.
So is it okay? See, because you are making this thing so multifaceted. When you say we don't have the right level of talent, is it simply a thing of Nigeria is not producing the kind of talent that Nigeria was producing before, or is it that all the best talent that we are currently producing are they just all skipping the league and simply going abroad from academies?
Yeah, for me, I think those that were not good enough will play in the league.
Hmm.
Those that were, they will go and start again in academy. If we check it very well, those that have developed have played in the league. When they go abroad, you don't see them. When last did the Nigerian Premier League player played regularly for Super Eagles? When last?
For
When
Super
last
Eagles,
for Super Eagles? When last can you make a case for a player that left the league in the last 10 or 15 years? That okay, this player should be called up. No, because that player in the league already done with his development.
hmm.
The player in academy is still some few things. So they go and finish the development in Europe. So we are not developing players.
Hmm.
So that is the magic. We're not developing players. Do you think that if Boniface will play for Central Stars, will you see him in the Bayern Leverkusen? Because he went from Real Sapphire to Abi from HB Abi Real Sapphire to that is why
So
you can
Bodo.
see to Bodo. That's why you can see development. And I can tell you that it didn't pass the first trial. It's not as if he just went there, he passed it. So it's just a lot of things. IoT. And that's why I'm saying it. That if you say that Imam Guzo say the league and this thing, they should forget it. The league will not produce players for Super Eagles.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Tough words, but we have to take it to the chin. Sometimes not criticism is not hate. Somebody said, "Oh, you people just don't like the league." No. We love the league. We want to see the league do well. I unfortunately, I haven't really experienced a lot of the glory of the league. But I remember when I was much, much, much younger and still learning to like football, I used to watch the league on TV sometimes. My father supported. My father was a 3SC fan at the time, and it was like there was passion from people. People wanted to support the teams. People wanted to watch leagues. People were proud of the teams in the league, and you can see that that has changed drastically. And of course, when teams are not performing on the continent, when teams are not putting out good products, little things teams are not trying to get with the times. Even the little things that you can do to still attract fans that will help you to generate income, that will help you to be able to pay players better, put better things in order. It just appears that teams in Nigeria are not really willing to do, other than the handful of teams like the Remo who we are celebrating, and a few other ones. Rangers, that okay, they are trying to do things right, by hiring a good person there. But there's even still a lot that they can do with their branding, with their marketing, even though they are trying. But there are not many like that. I've spoken to representatives of so many different MPFL teams. I've worked with a couple MPFL teams. A lot of people don't know, but I've done work with Aimba. People will never know stuff like that. I've done work with Canopilas.
Mm.
Honestly, sometimes a lot of people don't know a lot of the things that I do behind the scenes. But I've done work with Aimba. I've done work with Canopilas. I've spoken to Nasarawa. I've spoken to so many different teams about different things, and unfortunately, a lot of them just they're not ready to take those next steps. They're not ready to move themselves forward, and a lot of these things translate onto the result on the field, and then we continue to disappoint on the continent. But I'll still remain hopeful that maybe Remo can change this narrative, maybe Remo can change the way things appear to be, and hopefully with the right investment, the right players, the right preparation, right organization, and the right passion and determination from the players, they can get a positive result.
Sorry, before I would do that this thing with Remo and the fast infrastructure and everything, where are the players they produce?
I mean, they haven't. They say Sadiq Ismail is going to go to somewhere in Europe soon. Now, I saw
No,
something
no,
that he's potentially moving to. Was it Sweden or somewhere?
no, he's moving to Albania.
No, no, not the Albania one. I saw another one somewhere in Sweden. I think
Okay,
it was
okay.
Eastern Europe, sha, but not Albania. Because the Albania one we heard about it before, then something happened. But I think I heard like was it Lillestrøm or one of these teams that I
Mhm,
was hearing that is potentially moving to. So let's see how that happens. Some of their
mhm,
other top players, maybe they are already, like Sikiru Alimi is already kind of too old,
mhm,
for something to really happen for him now. But I mean, Kaide Bankole is a Super Eagles goalkeeper. Let's give him that credit. People like Nduka Junior. Who knows? Maybe Nduka Junior can get something coming for him in the future.
mhm,
I want to keep the faith. I want to keep the faith and hope that things can go well for them.
mhm,
Mm. But yeah, Smith, I hear you. I hear you. I
mhm.
understand what you're saying. Okay, let us move forward. Time flies, man. Time flies when we're having these conversations. It's already been an hour. Okay, please, if you haven't liked the video, please hit the like button. It costs you absolutely nothing to like. It sends a positive signal. It helps us to grow, helps us to connect to more people, helps YouTube to know that we're doing well. And of course, if you want to support what we're doing, or if you want us to put your comment on the screen, if you have a question and you want to ask us and you want us to take, please send your comment with a super chat. It's one thing to just be disagreeing with us and insulting in the comment and saying we don't like this, we don't like that. If you say we don't like it and you put 500 naira attached to it, it makes a difference, or $2 or $10 or 20 or $100 or £100 or 1,000, anyone. Fabi Turu says, I am not new here. I've been following you for a while now. Okay. I just don't think I've seen your name in the comments on any live stream before. But some people are quiet in the comments, but they watch us every week. So thank you for coming out today. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Okay, let us move forward. Let's talk a little bit about one potential transfer for a Super Eagles player. Of course, as the summer is coming up, there's a lot more transfer noise happening. While we've been hearing, in foreign media, people like Trent Alexander-Arnold are already on their way out. We're hearing that Jeremy Frimpong is coming in. coaches. Ancelotti is going to Brazil. Alonso is going to Real Madrid. And speaking of Alonso going to Real Madrid, there is a report that one of our Super Eagles players might be following him there. I'm talking, of course, about Victor Oko Boniface. But there's also a contrasting report that is suggesting that Boniface could also be on the move to Newcastle, with Alexander Isak maybe leaving Newcastle. Newcastle are eyeing Victor Boniface as a potential replacement. So, Smith Lai, let's take these two teams: Victor Boniface, Real Madrid or Newcastle. Why or why not for these teams? What do you say?
So for me, I think um, there's we can't doubt his talent. And the get that want to go and say he's not talented, I think he might be talking out of place. I think he is talented, but the issue is, he needs to step up, to compete at this level, because when you say Real Madrid, I remember having a conversation with you about Johnny Real Madrid. You said the aura that comes with the Real Madrid player, that the way they carry themselves and everything. So it comes with responsibility. Apart from your talent, it also comes with what? With responsibility. So for me, I think that if he goes to Real Madrid, if Alonso is the one responsible to bring him to Real Madrid, is when they sack Alonso, they will also ask him to go. I'm joking. It's just I'm joking. Yeah, he will play on that. He will play on that Alonso. I think so. He will play on that Alonso. And for Newcastle too, yeah, I think he's not a big fan of the Premier League. I don't think he likes to play the Premier League. I'm not sure. I'm sure too. He's not a big fan of the Saudi League, but he wants. So if the big cash comes from the Premier League, I know he's gonna be suddenly become a Newcastle fan. That's it. So for me, I think Real Madrid will be best for him, but I don't see that they happening. I just think that they already said that they wanted a centre back, a right back, no midfielder, and probably a striker. And that striker, you know, it could even be his compatriot, Victor Osimhen. You never know.
Hmm.
So because if they ask Alonso to pick between the two of them, he'll probably go for the victor for the former African Player of the Year. So for me, I think that Real Madrid would have been safer for him because Alonso will look for a way to play.
Hmm.
Maybe
For me,
try and drop Vini on the bench. I don't know.
no, I don't think Vinicius is going to the bench. But for me, so here's the thing: it's two contrasting moves. A move to Real Madrid signals a move to the biggest team in the world, a perennial championship team. It's a move that almost nobody can say no to. If Real Madrid wants you, 99% of the time, Real Madrid gets you. If Victor Boniface joins Real Madrid, wow, absolute wow. It would be a huge move. In Nigerian football, in world football, period, it would be a huge move. It would be a big step for him, an exciting step, a chance for him to play with some absolutely amazing players, absolutely amazing talent, a chance for his reputation to go up, a chance for so many different things to happen. While I know, like, yes, I said, like, oh, there's a certain aura that comes with playing for Real Madrid. There's a way that you have to carry yourself when you are a Galactico. I think that when he gets there, when Fiorentino Perez and the Real Madrid sporting directors sit with him, if you are a smart human being, you will change. You will know that you cannot be making the kind of jokes that you make anymore. You cannot be playing around the way you play anymore. You have to carry yourself like a proper superstar when you are playing for Real Madrid. That is the honest truth. You can still have personality, don't get me wrong. You can still, be friendly with the fans, but there's certain things that you can no longer just be saying callously. There's certain jokes that you can no longer just be making, thinking that there's no repercussion, because everything you do is going to be placed under a microscope in the media. And obviously, if you start to become a media issue for the club is going to get tired of you fast. Now, if he joins Real Madrid, I don't necessarily think he's going to start because there's Vinicius Junior, there's Kylian Mbappe, and then there's Rodrigo. And of course, I don't really see him benching any of them right now. Rodrigo would have probably been the easiest, but they don't play the same position. I don't see him benching Vini on the left. I don't see him benching Kylian up front. Kylian is just had the best ever season for a debutant in terms of goals and assists in Real Madrid history. So I don't think, and they spent big money to bring Kylian in. So I don't think that's going to happen. But even if he's on that bench, if he's playing Copa del Rey, if he's playing in some Champions League matches, things like that. It will still be huge for him. And I think that Victor Boniface playing with the kind of talented players that Real Madrid has, I think he would do well. I think Boniface would give you a solid 20 a season in um in Real Madrid. Not just because of the quality that he has, but also because of the quality that his teammates have. They will feed him game goals on a platter. When you are playing against Real Madrid versus Celta Vigo, Real Madrid against Getafe, Real Madrid against Sevilla, all these teams, he will find one or two
Against
goals
Las Palmas.
against La Palma. He'll find one or two goals here and there. So I have no doubt about that. I think it will be a huge move. But if he's looking to play week in, week out, then obviously Real Madrid is not going to offer him that. At least not right now until he builds his star enough to that level where he's obviously better than the options that they have. Another thing that we know, unfortunately, with Victor Boniface is that every season he tends to have at least one, even if it's a minor injury, maybe he'll miss like a month of action. So that's obviously not the best thing for him as well in terms of being able to play a consistent run of games. But we cannot deny the fact that it will be a huge move, absolutely huge move. To have a Nigerian player playing for the biggest football team in the world, absolutely huge move. I can never tell somebody not to join Real Madrid. They will give you everything that you want and more. So if that happens, it will be a great one for him. And then talking about Newcastle, so the only reason why this would happen is if Alexander Isak is sold. Maybe they get a 120 million pound offer from Chelsea, Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool, anybody that's looking for a striker, and then they sell Isak. Then Real Madrid can replace him with Victor Boniface. Now, Boniface and Isak are two different kinds of players. They don't have the same similarities. They don't play football the same way, but they are both technical players. They are both quality players. Boniface is maybe somebody that likes to play much more around the field than Alexander Isak, who likes to play in and around the penalty area. But I also think he can do well at Newcastle. I think he has a better chance of playing week in, week out at Newcastle. I think he's better than Callum Wilson. Wilson is also on the older side, so he will get to play more. I think that the Premier League also um, offers him a unique kind of exposure, whereby week in, week out, people are talking about you, people are, bigging you up. If you're not doing well, unfortunately, people are going to be bashing you as well. But I think that it's going to be a good opportunity for him to show himself at that high level. I know that he's not the biggest fan of the Premier League, but I also think that if the right opportunity comes, he's not going to say no to it. A right opportunity in terms of finances, in terms of opportunity to be seen, to play in big competitions. Newcastle, of course, is a team that is trying to compete. They are investing a lot into their players, into their team. So I think that regardless of the move that he makes, it would ultimately work out to be a positive move for him. It's now about how he can go and take the opportunity. It's about how he can go and grab it, by the neck and show everybody that he's a very serious player. Same thing that I said about Real Madrid. If he joins Newcastle in the English Premier League, there's certain things about him that he would need to change a little bit in terms of communication. Maybe he will need to hire, Eagle Striker, wink wink, to help him with media and understand how to say things the right way, what to say, what not to say, manage social media presence, things like that. You need to step up when you move into a big league like that. But I think that he can do well. I think that he can do well. I think that he has the quality. I think that he has the talent. He just needs to show us on a consistent basis. Fast forward, sorry, rewind to 2 seasons ago, before he got injured ahead of the AFCON. Boniface was having a fantastic season. Everyone was hyping him, everyone was bigging him up. This season, things didn't quite go the way he wanted to. And next year can be a year for him to burst again onto the scene, show everybody that he's still the quality player that we thought he was. It's something that I say about Nigerian players when they don't like to give respects to maybe like what we do, Eagle Striker or Grand Football or anything like that, and then they focus all their attention on international media. Since Boniface has not been playing that well, Fabrizio don't talk about him again. Oh. Fabrizio has moved on to Gyökeres. He has moved on to Liam Delap, to all the foreign players.
All of those
To see, but we are the ones that will keep talking about you, keep hoping for the best for you, and keep bigging you up. Because I've never, ever, ever doubted Victor Boniface's talent. I've never doubted the skill that he has. A very, very talented boy. I've been talking about him since he was in Norway. I remember I had a tweet back then when I told people to watch out for Victor Boniface when he was still in Norway, when he was not even getting that much game time in Norway because of his injury. And I'm glad to see where he is today. It's not now that I'm going to stop believing in him. So I hope that one of these moves comes to pass. Even if not these ones, I hope that another great move comes to pass for him. And I wish him all the very best, And I would love to see him in the Premier League though, just because I personally have a bias for the English Prem. But even if he chooses to go to the La Liga, which is his dream league, like he has said in previous interviews, it's going to be an interesting one for sure. For sure, for sure. Okay, I can see a couple people have some things to say about Victor Boniface. Somebody said he's lazy. Somebody said this one, that one, that one. I mean, let's see. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let us see how it goes. Please, please, please remember to like the video, guys. If you are watching on replay, please like the video as well. If you are here with us live, please, please, please hit the like button. If you want us to take a comment on screen or you have a question to ask, please join the channel as a member or leave your comment with the super chat, and we will sincerely appreciate you as you do so. It goes a lot towards supporting us, supporting the content that we create. Okay, let us move on. Let us move on. So, Smilayi, over the weekend, we also saw a Super Eagles striker win an award. Tolu Arokodare was crowned as the best player of African descent in Belgium, winning the Ebony Shoe Award. 20 goals and 5 assists in 38 games this season. Tolu is now the sixth Nigerian player to win the award after Daniel Amokachi, Victor Ekpeba, Gordon Opara, Celestine Babayaro, and most recently Paul Ebere on Wachu. Smilai, what do you think about Arokodare winning this award? And what do you think about the season that he has had?
For me, like he's a friend of the show, fantastic, guy. He's been active in the comment section. So, good player in his own right. There's no doubt about that. It was the favorite to win it. He started well, though there's a slight dip in form, but he's still trying to score those goals. Toby did not really start well, but towards the end, he actually what he
Mm.
did well. So for me, I think he deserves to actually what to be named. And this award, it's like a Nigerian award because when they started this thing, I think it was then Onkachi that actually that won the award for the first time. I think it was probably 92 or so or 91 and 92 or 91. So for me, it's a Nigerian thing, and I'm actually really happy for him. So I think he deserves that. I think he's people say that he's forming accent when he won the award. No, you speak the way you like, you speak the way you understand English. You can decide to speak anyhow. So I'm happy for him that he actually won the award. There'll be reports too that he's been linked to a move to Dortmund, this afternoon. So maybe probably the award is the one triggering everything to come out. I'm happy that he actually won the award, at least an Nigerian winner. I don't think Boniface won that award. He didn't
No,
win that. He didn't win. I think it was
he
one
was
guy.
nominated, but he didn't win.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't win. He didn't win. So for me, I'm happy for him, and I think that so many that should continue. So I don't know, maybe that one has cleared our doubt about Bayern Munich, but I think that's a different conversation for another
Mm.
day.
I mean, I'll start by saying congratulations to
why is your champion?
that's what he called me now. So let me talk about him as John Champion. I'll start by saying
What is your symmetry?
congratulations to Tolu Arokodare. Fantastic season that he has had. Like you mentioned, in these clutch moments when he was needed the most, he's dipped a little bit. His team's title challenge has vanished, but nobody can doubt the work that he put in over the course of the season. Week after week after week after week, he was scoring goals. He was impressing. He earned himself his Super Eagles call up. He made his national team debut. A dream season for him. His statistics speak for themselves: 20 goals and 5 assists. Fantastic return. He is no longer the top scorer in the league, but he held that position for a large part of the season. I feel like there was no doubt in my mind that he was going to win this award. If maybe the award was given after the playoffs, then maybe he could have potentially lost out. But because the award is based on the regular season, without a doubt, he was going to win this award. I'm happy for him. I like the fact that Rafael Onyedika was also nominated, even though Onyedika finished fifth. But I just think that it is something that he needs to win to really be able to look at himself as a top player like that. The only thing that I want to say is that I don't know why people think that I wouldn't have expected him to win this, or I wouldn't have been happy, because one of his friends today, on when Tolu made a post, celebrating his achievement, one of his friends now commented that, "Oh, what do you have to say now, Eagle Striker?" And I felt like, well, it's a bit sad that in your friend's big moment is Eagle Striker that you're thinking of. But also, let's not make it seem as if we wish him bad or we don't want him to do well. We've been supporting him, we've been bigging him up. He has been the best player in Belgium this season, of African descent, at least for sure. So without a doubt, I knew he was going to win. I wanted him to win. I want Nigerian players to continue to succeed. Does this now make me think that, oh, he's ready for Bayern Munich? No. But I think he's a good player. Let's not forget that Paul Onwachu also won this award. And we did not say, okay, Bayern Munich or Real Madrid should now sign Paul Onwachu. So while it is a good achievement for him, it is you always want to succeed at whatever level you are at. When you're in primary school, you want to be the best in primary school. When you enter secondary school, you want to be the best. When you enter university, you want to be the best. When you become a working professional, you want to be the best. So this is a good achievement for the level that he's currently playing at. But the Belgian league is a developmental league. I want to see him continue to take these steps forward, continue to make strides, and continue to progress in his career. I am very, very happy for him. I've been supporting his boy since he was in Latvia, scoring goals left and right. So I want him to do well, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his family. When you watch someone that you love continue to make waves, continue to progress, whether it be Bayern, whether it be Dortmund, wherever he makes the next move to, I hope it works out very, very well for him. Um, yeah, I am honestly very happy for him. I wish him all the best. And I hope that he continues to engage with the content. I will say that. I hope that, he's a funny guy. Carries himself well. I've spoken highly about how I like the fact that he's, even as a young player, even since when he was a relatively unknown player, he has been trying to brand himself properly and package himself properly for the media, for socials. And I like all of that. It only says that when he does blow up, he can be a true star, when he does blow up. And I hope that he does blow up. I hope that, I called him Victor Osimhen when he called me John Champion. I hope that he can become Victor Osimhen, because those are high standards. Those are superstar levels. We're talking one of the best players in the world level. So if he can get there, it will be amazing for him. It will be amazing for Nigerian football in general. But for now, congratulations to Arokodare on winning the Ebony Show Award. Very, very well deserved. And I hope that it is only the start of many awards that he's going to win in his career. Whether I believe in him or not, I hope that he believes in himself. I hope that his family believes in him. And that is all that matters, because football is a game of opinions. Some people are going to like you, some people are not going to like you, some people are going to believe in you, some people are going to doubt you. It's up for you to do the job and turn the doubters into believers. Arokodare Ebony Show Award. Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, that is that on that one. Let's move forward very quickly. We'll talk under 20, we'll talk Super Falcons, and then we'll talk Super Eagles as well. So it's like on the 20 World Cup. Our boys have progressed. Our boys have progressed. The Flying Eagles have advanced into the semi-final of the FIFA under 20, Abi CAF under 20 AFCON, and they've also qualified for the FIFA under 20 World Cup coming up later this year. It's been like, what did you think of the game versus Senegal? A penalty shootout victory, and how happy are you for the boys that they have been able to qualify for the you know World Cup?
I'm happy that they qualified because at least the opportunity will be for them to showcase their talents. If they have one to the world, and scouts can see them, they can get signed for clubs, and they can actually have better life. But when you say underage, the aim of underage is to develop players. And when you say you want to develop players, at least there must be some things that you want to develop. For me, sometimes these guys just realize that they are already 20, already close to 19, 18, 19 years of age. Just realize that they still lack this basic football knowledge. I don't think that we should really celebrate their qualification that much. Because at the end of the day, you can hardly see a player that can step up, to the Super Eagles. I'll just say step up and see, look at, oh, this guy can be a player in the future. Some of them lack this basic football knowledge, and I'm really surprised that you know, I don't want to say, because these are good moments. They've qualified for the World Cup. I don't want to say negative things and spoil the whole show for them. For me, I just think that there's some players. I just think that is this the best player we can see in Nigeria? I talk to you about what? About talent. Is that the best player we can see? In Nigeria? Is that the best player we can see from Nigeria? I saw my Gary, the right back. I was wondering that is this guy the best under 20 right back in Nigeria? The guy from Economic Warriors. I saw Awal Ibrahim. They call him Germany. The guy play for Aqua United. Is it the best midfielder we have under 20 midfielder we have in Nigeria? I saw Bidemi Omole Amole. Is it the best we actually what have in Nigeria? I saw Kings Jefta. Is it the best right winger we have in Nigeria? As a winger, you will have this burst of pace, dribbling skills, quality to show. And they're not showing that. The two of them are not showing it. They're just staffing Parubu Ariri supply. So for me, I just look at it that there's some key areas in this team that the coach did so bad, and it was horrible selection from that coach. So I just think that if this is what we are producing, then we're gonna be in trouble.
Hmm. And looking forward to the semi-final against South Africa. How do you feel about that? Do you think they can defeat South Africa, get to the
They
final of the?
can, they can, they can, they can. For me, they can beat South Africa. They can beat South Africa clearly. They can beat South Africa clearly. You can see that they can wumble and fumble, in this, and still get to the final, with it. But it's not be a different ball game, because South African team can possess the ball well than the Senegalese. If you look at it very well, we struggle slightly, if we want to possess the ball against us. But for power, we can match people with power and strength, most times. But when you say all these sneaky passes and everything, they can, when you see a team that can play, Kenya tried to play like that against Nigeria, and we did not really do well, against them. So for me, they can qualify. I don't want to limit them. They can qualify, but this clearly not the best under 20. I can tell you, in Nigeria, and we can't continue to do these things and expect this different results.
Hmm. But what do you say about those that are saying, like, oh, despite their setbacks and their lapses, people believe that there are still some quality players. People like Okoro, the left back, and they think that he's doing quite well. People like Daniel Bamei and say that he's doing quite well. Some people are praising the goalkeeper. What do you say about it? Do you not rate those guys? You don't think there's anything good about them, or what's the case exactly?
No, okay, let me give you an example. That's why sometimes, I can't sleep, and I put head in one place with some of these people commenting. I'm sorry to say it, though. I'm not just it's come around here on YouTube or Instagram. I do my findings. See, there was a player that was, I don't want to mention these things, but some of these guys, we know them. We know them that got picked. We know them, and we know how they got picked. So it's not as if, let me tell you something. There's a certain age that a player will develop, and you expect a player to do some certain things in a certain age. See, in the new FIFA policy document, there's what they expect from a player that is 18 or 19 years old. You know, Clearly, you cannot see it from some of these guys.
Mm,
So I don't want to put them under the bus. See, what I will tell people here is this: I will not argue with anybody here, but time will tell.
mm.
Maybe that's how you rate Agbalaka was the best left back
Left
in the
back.
last
Mm,
20. Eh? Don't worry, I'm not trying to. Time will tell. The guy that is going to show that showed most promise in that team was number 9, Barubu Ariri. And I said it before. You know, See, time will tell. That is it. I'm not saying, I'm not arguing. Time will tell. It's going to be in circle. See, we have seen Nigerian football for so many years that for us to come and be talking about emotions.
mm. I will say, Congratulations to the Flying Eagles for qualifying for this tournament. It's always a good thing to reach the semi-final and to qualify for the World Cup. That was the goal. They've achieved the goal. I understand Layi's frustration because when you watch the games, you're excited about the result, you're happy about the result, but the play itself does not excite you, does not make you optimistic for what is to come. Smith and I sometimes have had conversations about youth teams in Nigeria, and I always tell Smith, ask me about this guy in 5 years because is at under 17 or under 20 level, we see a lot of players that we think are quality. When they make it to the first team in Europe or thereabouts, then they don't match up that easily. I said this after I reviewed their first game of the tournament that the quality of the tournament doesn't seem that high overall. So I said it from the first game that they can go all the way if they're just clinical a little bit, take their chances, a little bit of luck with their strength, with their pace, they can go all the way. But are they playing football the right way? No. Are they showing clear signs of developing players? No. And if you guys saw my video, I specifically said that we need to stop acting as if these two things are mutually exclusive, as if you cannot win the tournament while also developing players the right way. We need to stop acting like that. We need to work on actually developing players, teaching them to play football the right way, so that when they do eventually make it to Europe, they are not far behind their counterparts. Now, I hope and pray that some of these players turn out to be quality players that can potentially play for the Super Eagles in the future. But I understand that there are no clear signs of that happening right now. They face South Africa. South Africa have played 5 matches and have won three, drawn one, lost one. South Africa lost to Egypt in their opening game. So you might look at that and say, nobody Egypt will be beat before the tournament even starts. So there's no reason why we cannot beat South Africa. But again, it's not about just winning the AFCON. It's about where these players can be in 3 years' time, in 4 years' time, in 5 years' time. How many of these players can end up becoming key players for the Super Eagles of Nigeria? That development, that clear line of progression, not just, oh, okay, so they won the tournament, so what are you going to say? And we don't, at least I don't wish bad on anybody. When I say certain things about development or about players' futures, I hope I'm proven wrong most of the time if I don't have positive things to say. But most of the time I end up being right. So for me, I'm very, very happy for them that they've qualified for the World Cup. It means that they will get to play at a high level. They will get to show themselves to the world. Some of them will get to play in Europe, will get to sign for clubs. So I'm happy for them. I want people to achieve their goals. I want people to live their dreams. But I'm more interested in seeing where they are in 4 years, where they are in 5 years, how they are able to develop. I don't follow grassroots football in Nigeria that closely to be able to tell you who they should have called or they shouldn't have called. So I can only speak based on what I am seeing from the players that are playing this tournament. Bamei has been good, no doubt about that. He rightfully was named in the team of the group stage. But again, he's not showing signs of a professional player playing in Europe in terms of how he uses the ball. Right now he's a very rugged guy, winning aerial duels, clearing balls away. And those things are good. Those things are helping the team to advance. But what team in Europe is he going to join now and we expect him to shine? Not saying he can't, but we're not seeing the clear signs of that. The Okoro boy, I quite like the Okoro boy. To me, that's the player that I've been most pleased with. I think has a lot of good quality in him. He's composed, he moves forward well, he defends well. And I'm not surprised that people are talking about him. It's about how he can continue to progress. Who knows? I know that things have not. You mentioned Agbalaka. Before Agbalaka, there was Utin. Things have not gone well for our left backs in recent memory. But it doesn't mean that things will not go well for Okoro. I'm wishing him all the best. I'm rooting for him. Ebenezer Harcourt, the goalkeeper, penalty hero, saved. I think was it three of the penalties that he saved, or he saved two. One hits the bar. Um, you know, the truth is, I can't even lie. Somebody in the comments said he should be our third choice. No, not because he saved two penalties. Like the boy hasn't been great in the tournament. Let's be honest. The boy hasn't been great in the tournament. Shaky hands when he comes off his line. He doesn't seem to know exactly what to do. It's not good with his feet.
Distribution.
Like that's what I'm saying. So like, is it because he saved two pens? Oh, now he should come to Super Eagles at third choice. I really, really disagree with that, honestly. But still, when you are a penalty hero on the day at 15 years old, the future is bright. He can still improve, he can still do well, he can still be a quality player. So I'm not trying to rain on their parade. I'm not trying to knock them. I'm not trying to say that they are bad players. I just think that this comes down to really not even the players themselves, but the coaches and how the coaches are teaching them and how the coaches are asking them to play. Because Nigeria, we constantly go into these things with this win now mentality. You must win, you must win, you must win. And we don't think about, okay, will you still be winning in 2 years? Will you still be winning in 3 years? Will you still be winning in 5 years? That's the important question. Because no matter how much you win under 20 World Cup or even under 20 AFCON under 20 World Cup, that's not going to make you all of a sudden be seen as, oh wow, you're one of the best countries in the world. We don't win under 17. Is this showing us at the first team level? No. Even at the AFCON level, we cannot say, oh, we're perennial winners of the AFCON. We are not. We only have three, and the last one was over a decade ago. So, these are things that I think are important. But again, I will say massive kudos to the boys. Massive congratulations to them for qualifying for the World Cup, for reaching the semi final. I personally think that they have the quality to beat South Africa. So I'll be expecting to see them at the final. And then maybe even win the tournament. They have the quality to do it. I think Morocco will beat Egypt. So I'm going to predict a Nigeria Morocco final, and it will be a good one. Morocco, of course, we know is a country that is doing development the right way, and as we can see, they are also winning. So that just goes to what I'm saying about you can develop players the right way and you can win at the same time. It will be a good one for us, no doubt. It will be a good one for us, but and again, I think it will be a good match for the boys. They get to play Morocco again. The first game ended 0-0. So it will be a nice one. But again, people need to understand that the comments that we are making now, because I think somebody here in particular does not understand that it does not mean that we are saying, oh, that they will not be good in the future. It does not mean that we are saying that, oh, that they will not succeed. No, we are talking and assessing based on today and how things are looking today and the kind of training and development and coaching that they are getting today. Obviously, they can still succeed. They will still improve. You hope. Most of them, not all, because not a curse, but that's just the reality of youth football. But the ones that improve, the ones that progress in their careers, we hope that we're able to get some gems out of them. We hope that they're able to get all the way. But if you ask us to assess them today, it hasn't been the most exciting thing to watch. Let's be honest. That quarterfinal match was quite boring, I must say.
Mhm.
But ultimately we got to penalties and we won, and we're in the World Cup and we're in the semi-final, and we have to be happy for that. Do you want to add something like before we go?
You just say something that people here thinking that we want them to fail. It's not. Yes, just pay attention. Suppose they're okay. If they win, what will I say? I'm not saying they will not win. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about development. See, in 2003, we crashed out in the group stage of the last 70 World Cup. Mikel Obasi. But 2 years later, those boys playing the final under 20 World Cup. If you watch that under 17 in 2003, you will know, say, these guys are the ones for the future. And Mikel later won the AFCON for Nigeria. So this is what we are looking forward to. We have won this under 20 AFCON 7 times. 7 times. 7 times. We won it 7 times. We have never lost a quarterfinal game there before. 7 times. What we are saying basically is not as if we hate the player. We just want to see, okay, if it's true out of 24, 3 out of 24 player that we know, okay, this guy, in fact, you know that AyoT, when Mikel won, when Mikel was the second best player in 2005, so Mikel played the AFCON in 2006 for Nigeria.
Hmm.
Yes, he played the AFCON in 2006 for Nigeria. So some of these players, if we go World Cup, some of these players can even be ready before that. But how many of them can you point to that can be ready? See, I don't want to. This is a live stream, and I can see South Africans here watching. I don't want to go deep into some certain things that happened before this team was selected. But I'm just saying, I'm not about winning. What is my business with winning? Maybe now so I go win with what's it called? 2007. And the 2 years after the captain retired. I don't know what happened there. So what we are saying is for you to get talent. That okay, this one in 2 or 3 years' time can be ready. Baba has been playing under 20 for how many years now? Yes, it's not ready. He's only ready for under 20.
mm.
I'm just saying, not to slag by my you. I'm just saying it. In 2 or 3 years, are these guys going to be ready? Or are they going to be in you going to tracking them in Bangani, Bangladesh? Or they're going to be in Niger Republic? Or still get locked in the MPFA? That's what we're talking about. It's not about hating the players. So GC Jeff, please get it right. Continue IoT. 12
Okay,
is yeah.
wishing them all the best. Let's move on very quickly. We want to quickly talk. Okay, let us talk about the Super Falcons of Nigeria, our dear women's national team. Officially, the NFF has announced two friendlies for them in this upcoming international break. They are going to play a double header against Cameroon. One is in Ikene and the other one is going to be in Lagos. Midlai, Super Falcons finally back in action after missing two international windows, and they are playing a double header against Cameroon. What are your thoughts on the match or the matches that are coming up for them?
For me, it's anybody you sleep with is the one you will turn to. We thought our nearest neighbor, they come and rescue us. Nobody won't play us.
Hmm,
So, and Cameroon did not qualify for the WAFCON. So they lost to Kenya, I think so, in the qualifying series.
hmm.
So the last time we played them, they accused of Juju in
I remember.
the Olympic qualifier. I hope they will not accuse us the same thing again. But for me, I just think it's also a tough friendly game. I'm happy that they got it over the line. It's going to be played in Abeokuta and also Ikene. So both in Ogun State. So I'm happy that they got it. At least just to prepare the girls. But the issue basically is this: if I see FC Robo, Nate, Nanjarate, Baesa Queens players invited again for this, you have to invite the players that we be ready to play the AFCON. This WhatsApp coach should be very careful. So I just think that he should be ready and make sure that he takes his tactics. Where's the way he get? Because we are talking, I don't abuse them. So they make I leave am say he get tactics. So and tactics wey he get, he should come and show it there. If Cameroon beat us for here, they should not allow the man to take us to AFCON.
Hmm, hmm. Okay, but you mentioned that Cameroon themselves did not qualify
Mhm.
for the WAFCON. So, do you think that this is a worthwhile friendly, the type of friendly that we should be playing? And also, do you think it makes sense for us to play the same team twice?
Yeah. Why won't you play the same thing twice? Where do you want to see the money to? This one that they are paying, maybe they're going to go and borrow money in the bank to bring Cameroon, or you should beg earpiece to help them bring Cameroon from Yaoundé. You don't know.
Hmm,
Hmm. So it's not as if Cameroon is coming. Cameroon doesn't care about playing Nigeria. What is wrong with their business? They are not going to AFCON.
hmm.
So it's not as if they are going on a trading tour of Nigeria. No. So for me, I just think that it's a practice match. Let them practice with it. But if Cameroon beat us, they should not allow. What's his name again? Is it for you? What's his name again? Is he?
Uh, oh, you've confused me now. The coach, what's his
Uh,
name again? Somebody should please remind us in the comments. I've forgotten. Justin Madugu.
Umar Majuku with
Hmm.
his WhatsApp tactics. It should not. It should make sure that he beats them and practice that tactics very well. We want to see Nigeria win next AFCON.
You know what was interesting? I spoke with a Super Falcons player last week, and she told me, when I was talking to her about the friendly and everything, and I asked her, and she said, "I see, IoT. I won't lie to you. This coach is a good coach." That's what she told me. She said, I'll tell you if I don't like something about the coach. She said that the coach is a good coach, that
Let
he
me tell
needs support. She said that one thing that he needs is support. Because she said when Randy Waldrum was the coach, that Randy wasn't doing it alone. He had that American woman that was with him, he had the fitness trainer that was with him, he had another guy that was helping him with tactics. So she's like that this man now has come, he's doing everything or he's trying to do everything by himself. So she was
but
just saying that she does not know how he's going to be able to do it all.
but
What do you want to say?
this man was he not the man that was meant to support Randy through taxes?
Yeah,
This
but
Yes, when they asked him to go and scout opponents, he came with two WhatsApp messages. It's not what he came with two WhatsApp messages. So what I'm saying, that is now this it was said with a close when somebody very close to the team came to WhatsApp messages. What we are saying is this: is the one that took the job. You should go and bring people that will help him to achieve what to do the job. You should go and get us in that Juma and okay to come and help him. Maybe that's the coaches that normally use to national team.
hmm,
Let him come and support him, and he should do it. He should go come and cry foul when he said because he wanted the job by AyoT. He should not come here and say he doesn't want the job. He lobbied the one. I won't say lobby allegedly. Allegedly, let me just put allegedly. He wanted the job, so there's no excuse. Don't forget that NFF took assistance of around you. They took that woman away. Oh. So and nobody said anything about it. Oh. So if NFF is treating him this way too, he should face it because he wanted to be the coach.
hmm. Okay, okay. I'm just reporting what I was told by a player of the national team, but I understand what you're saying. I think for me, one thing that is very important is his team selection. Call the best players, call the best players, call the deserving players. I know that the coach has a bias for players that are in Nigeria or were developed by the league because they want to promote the league. They want to show us that, oh, Ajibade came from the league, Oshuala came from the league, Uchebe came from the league, Inadozie came from the league. That, oh, the league is a good league and everything. And I understand that and I support their efforts in that. But I will say they need to select the right players. We are preparing for a tournament. Even though everybody is acting as if the tournament is not happening, we are preparing for a tournament and we need to act like kids. Call the right players. I would have liked them to face two different countries, but nevertheless, it's Cameroon. Cameroon is not in a position that we to be struggling too much against. But let's see how the team can come together, how the team can play well, build some chemistry, and just take the right steps towards the WAFCON. The players are pumped up. The players are excited. They all want to impress. They are all looking for moves or they are looking for to improve their name, one thing or the other. I really, really do hope that they give him what he needs, at least that they can provide for him to succeed. They keep the team active, they prepare them well, and I trust the Super Falcons players that they will go and impress. I trust Super Falcons players. Somebody here is saying Wardrobe wasn't very tactical. I don't know how people watch football sometimes, but if you watch the World Cup and you say that that coach wasn't tactical, then that's on you. That's on you.
But
And
I
even the Olympics, even though we lost, if you watch and you think it wasn't tactical, that's on you personally. I know that a lot of us we tend to not like the foreign coaches. The same way till today, people will tell you that Pesero got to the AFCON final by luck or by the
Mhm.
players. No, I didn't do anything. So that's fine. But I disagree with it wasn't tactical. He changed the perception, he changed the belief, he changed the dynamics of the Super Falcons. He made us truly, truly believe that we can compete at the highest level. And we need to keep building on that. I don't care if it's Madugu, I don't care if it's somebody else. We need to keep building on that. Yes, Miguel, go ahead.
I just want to say something that when people talk about NFF, which coach did NFF support?
Hmm,
Which coach did NFF support?
hmm,
See, if you're coaching Nigeria, you are fighting the NFF. You are fighting the NFF. So he knows that he should go and compete. Maybe it took us to Cape Verde, it took us to Ethiopia. We go. He has learned the training. He should go and coach them. Oh. He wanted this job. He should coach them. And if he failed this job, the same fate that befell those that coached and failed should befall him too. That's it.
hmm. Okay, okay. Please, if you are watching, keep liking the video, guys. Please, please, please keep liking, keep liking, keep liking. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. If you want us to take your comments, if you want us to ask to answer a question, please leave a comment with a super chat. But please, super chats cost you money, but the likes are absolutely free. So please make sure you have liked the video. I wish YouTube used to show the names of people that have liked the video, so that those that have not liked, I will never answer your comments or answer you at all. But please, please, please keep liking the video. Please, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Also today, Smilai, Nike unveiled the new jerseys for the Super Falcons. The home kit is on the right and the away kit is on the left. How are you feeling about them? Do you like them?
Good, good, good. They seems to get it right for the Falcons. No, Super Eagles too. I don't be the fake and the new one is. I don't know maybe the Super Eagles. Maybe the one for the main national team. I don't know, maybe the fake one is the one I've been
Hmm.
wearing mostly. But this one is very good.
Hmm.
This one is very good. I think I'm good. I should get one. I like it.
You know, I when I saw the jerseys this morning, I was just like, Nike, you can have my money. Because for me, I really, really like the two jerseys. The home one is kind of simple green, nothing too crazy about the design. But the away one, like you could tell that they were doing something. I was reading up the thoughts behind the design, and they said it was inspired by Sokoto, and the patterns in Sokoto and everything like that. I said, okay, that's interesting. Obviously, we expect them to wear the new jerseys during the WAFCON. I don't know if they'll wear it for these friendlies, but let's see. Because usually, whenever New Jersey comes out now, it always turns to one long story or the other. I remember even when we had the last New Jersey that the Super Falcons were still wearing the old one when the men had been wearing the new one. So sometimes NFF can be very disorganized. But at least for the WAFCON, Nike will for sure deliver and they'll wear it at the WAFCON. I think it's beautiful. I'm going to buy the two of them. If somebody here is watching and they want to say, AyoT, I don't spend the money, I'll buy it for you. Hey, I will appreciate it. You can buy it for me as well. But I think I'm going to get the two jerseys for sure, for sure, for sure. Good job, Nike. This is the one thing that we get right. At least even if we're not going to win, we're going to lose looking fly. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that, So good job to Nike. And when you see our stars, the Alozes, Ajibades, looking clean in this jersey, it's going to be a beautiful something to see. So shout out to them for that one. Guys in the chat, let me know quickly if you guys are feeling the jersey. Um, Somebody says Nike always delivers. I love the way I'll get it. Somebody else says this is the first time I'm liking the two jerseys. So yeah, I got the last two Super Falcons jerseys as well before the 2023 World Cup. So another 2 years, Nike has come to collect my $200 again. But I'll gladly give it to them. I'll gladly give it to them. I saw in my comments today when I posted it, Nike that launched the jersey said the jersey is going to be available starting June 5th. That's when you will be able to buy it from them and from their selected partners. Somebody in my comments said he already has the jersey in Abuja. And I say, Nigerians, when it comes to fake, we are very, very good at it. Nike themselves say the jersey is from June that you can buy it, but somebody is already selling it in Abuja. And the people will buy it. Maybe he will sell it for 20K a piece. People will buy it. I mean, honestly, I respect it in a sense because not every, let's be realistic, Nigerians, most, let me not say most, let me know I'm not pocket watching anybody, but a lot of Nigerians cannot afford to pay $100 for a piece of clothing, for a shirt. So I recognize it, and Nike doesn't make the effort to make like a cheap alternative that people in Africa can purchase. So we take it upon ourselves. Nigerians will speak to the manufacturers in China. They will make it to the best of their ability to look exactly like what Nike is selling. The only thing is that when you see the ones that people buy for 20K and you see the actual ones that you buy from like a Nike store or from Nike website, when you feel the material, you can see it, the difference. When you look at the colors, you can see slight color differences, things that will tell you that okay, this one is a cheap knockoff version of it, and this one is a genuine one. But at the same time, as long as you got your jersey, you're supporting Nigerian national team, you'll be able to do well. People tend to ask me sometimes that, oh, why don't we sell, as per Eagle Tracker shop, why don't we sell the jerseys? And I always say, because for me, if I'm going to sell the Nigerian jerseys, I will have to sell the original one. I'm not going to. There are a lot of vendors that sell the other ones. And, if I'm not selling a lot, then it's not really a worthwhile venture for us to go into. But shout out to Nike, man. I love the jersey. I love the jersey. I love the jersey. Um, and shout out to that guy in Abuja that already has it. He posted it on his story. I actually saw it. He already, but when I looked at it, I said, Nigerians are fast, man. Nigerians are fast. That's the way they launch today. They don't already speak to people in China. They don't already send the fake one, give them. But it's our industrious nature, man. Someone said, I buy my jersey for 3K and it's the same quality. It's kudos to you, but let's be serious. It's not the same quality at all. Like, let's be serious here. There's no way your jersey costs 3K and you say it's the same quality as the one that they are selling for $100. Um, But yeah, sure. Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on quickly, quickly, quickly. Super Eagles, Super Eagles. Unity Cup coming up later this month. And we are hearing that Super Eagles long time veteran captain Ahmed Musa is set to lead a team that will feature potentially 12 home-based players. Smidlai, we're expecting announcements, the squad announcement in maybe a day or two, this week sometime. What can you just tell us quickly about the home-based players that we're expecting and about the Unity Cup as a whole?
Yeah. So I think I'm hearing reports that Eric will be part of the Chan team that will play in Uganda, in August. So he also wants to, have these home-based players in camp, and he thinks that the best thing he could do is to have maybe probably a dozen of them to be in this game. Also some foreign-based players and be able to build something around them. So he told the guy openly that he should stay in Nigeria till August, because probably I think he actually wants to play him in that chance tournament. So the players that are being rumored to be called up, because their club side to confirm it on the Twitter page or their X page, they actually what Ahmed Musa of Kano Pillars, the Super Eagles captain, Udoka Junior of Remo Stars, the Remo Stars captain, Ifeanyi Onyebuchi of Rangers, I think probably is also the Rangers captain. Sikiru Alimi of Remo Stars, Isaac Xavier, of Rangers, Papa Daniel Mustafa of Niger Tornadoes, Waliu Ojetoye of Ikorodu City, Vincent Temitope of Plateau United, Adamu Abubakar of Plateau United, and Sodiq Ismail of Remo Stars. Those are the
What of
players.
what of Kayode Bankole?
It's not rumored to be in the team.
Hmm.
So I know that Dele Adeleye, is it not called Adeleye? The guy you just mentioned that's at a place in this Cyprus. Is he?
Adile, yeah.
Yeah, Adeleye. Yeah, Adeleye is being invited
Hmm. Hmm.
to the team.
What
So
of Uzoho? Is Uzoho going to be there as well?
no, I don't think so. I think Uzo has already tired of unofficially.
Yes, not retired, dude. Uzoho still wants to play. Okay,
Yeah.
but we're looking forward to that one. So, are we going to call this Super Eagles or is this Super Eagles B or what are we
No,
going to
it's
call
tough. It's since they invited Uche Santos,
it? Hmm. So
of
it's still a grade A friendly on paper.
grade friendly. So they invite a couple of players. I wouldn't he was invited, but unfortunately, what happened?
Hmm.
So we cannot say I wouldn't is a big team. So it's a mixture of those things together.
It's a
So I
mixture.
think,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, congratulations to the ones from Nigeria that are going to be able to potentially show themselves. Hopefully, they
hmm
can impress. Some of
hmm
them maybe find a move abroad, and then when it's time for the next squad, now we call it
no, they
a
should
different
they
set.
should play Champ also.
If they bring offer for somebody now, you tell him, "Oh, don't go play Chan." Who Chan help? So, I mean, at the end of the day, they will do what is in their own best interest now. Ah, Chan is not going to pay them money and salary and send them to Europe. But yeah, so that's that on the Unity Cup. Of course, guys, when the squad is announced, we'll talk about it. When the games are coming closer, we'll preview the games. By then, we'll have a better understanding of what the coach might potentially do. We're of course looking forward to seeing which new boys, maybe some foreign born players, etc., that gets selected as well. Okay, so we have one caller to take today, and then we're going to call it a night. So Munachi, I hope you are ready. Welcome, sir.
Mr. IoT and Mr. Mr. Smith has been cracking me up all night with his.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, and
Yeah,
even
I've
Nigeria.
been laughing and laughing. If you check, I've been laughing in the chats. But kudos to you guys. Thank you for always bringing this to us, because us that were in the diaspora, we don't know these players, and yes, you guys do a very good job. So very quickly, Tolu Arokodare, yes, nice one. Congratulations to him. I was actually the one that sent you that love and likes on Instagram. I was the
Oh,
one.
now you.
So, but yeah, now me, boy, no be say I dey clown you guys. Oh, like I love the maturity you played in that. That was actually good. I think Dortmund, the stuff you talked about Dortmund, if it works, good. I think it will be a development. Bayern Munich is too high. On the 20 players, the Eagles, Flying Eagles. I think Mr. Smith Lai is very correct because development is one thing. I can remember in the under 17 in 2009 that Nigeria hosted, none of the players are still playing until now. But you see the likes of uh, Argentina,
Testegen.
Argentina, Argentina, Emiliano Martinez is still playing.
Yeah.
Nicolas Tagliafico is still playing.
Uh-huh.
I think in Germany, Mark Andres Stegen, I think he's
Yeah.
still playing. If not,
Testegen is
yeah, he's
again.
still there. So these are the things that we want to see. We don't just want to see, okay, we come play for a tournament and the next thing we disband the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very bad because I'm looking at it that okay, which player can actually be pointed at and say, okay, can we transition these people into under 23 or under this or under or the Super Eagles team? And truly, truly, the string of passes that I've been watching, I'm telling you, I'm afraid. I don't know, but for me, I was even saying it to a South African person. The only person that I know in South Africa that has actually I can point to and say, oh, this guy has good promise is a particular guy called April. That guy can play.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That South African guy, April, can play very well. I've seen how they play their possession-based football.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very big test. Anyways, it's going to be a big test. I want them to win. But of course, I agree with you, Mr. Smith Lai. Then for WAFCON, we need to prepare. We've said this countless times. Even Mr. Smith Lai has just been cracking me up with the WhatsApp coach. He has been cracking me up all night. So we need to prepare well. Then the jersey. I would like to get, but man, spending £100 or I don't know how much it
No,
is.
in pounds is like £55.
It's something. I can do one or two shifts and get it.
Okay.
All right, thank you so
All
much.
right.
That's all
Thank
I
Thank
have to
you
say
very
tonight.
much.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
See,
Thank
I
you.
said we'll take one caller, but last minute callers has come to join us now.
Make we
So
make we go
I'll
make we go.
just give you 2 minutes, Mr. Didotun. Welcome.
Thank you very much, AyoT. Smith. What's up? Well, I'm just coming to say something now. I've been saying it. In Flying Eagles, we want players that can serve us for long. But in a competition where all our players, even the longest serving under 20 players, is still 19 years. I hope these guys, if prevention they get to play in Super Eagles, how they can serve us for like at minimum of 7 years. But I doubt if this can happen. I'm not the only shining light I see in that team is Parobo Areri. And I wish him well. But everyone others, I'm not saying they don't know how to play, but they are all playing individual game. So maybe their allies are told them that when you get there, just show yourself. Oh, just just show yourself. Maybe that would have they've been told. That's that on that. But please, the question to you, IoT, and probably maybe speak like, please, when will Amir Musa call it quit in Super Eagles?
I'm
Or
not
is it
his
when
I'm not his manager or his agent. I cannot tell you.
I'm just asking a question. Maybe when he runs up 200 games for Eagles, Eagles stop. I don't know when he's going to call it quits because he's and to me, I believe he's taking the place of other players. You see, I don't know. Even when you watch the league, uh, I've been saying it. The goals is scored at the weekend. I want to see the goals. That's my own. So I don't know. I want to see the goals. We should stop using all this agenda propaganda. He is taking the space of others. Many players call it quits. Even when Mikel was calling it quits, he was still balling. Victor Moses was still balling, and they call him quits. This guy, we see, he should not be like Peba. Peba's be like, remember Peba's last match for Nigeria. You know, when you are done, please just bow out respectfully. Bow respectfully. He's taking the place of other players. Thank you.
Mm. Don't worry, Mr. Didotun, we hear you. We hear you. But at the end of the day, Nobody me go tell him when he go retire. A lot of people have already shared their thoughts on him still being in the team,
Yeah.
but Ahmed Musa is not ready to call it quits. I don't know. Maybe they feel like if you're calling MPFL players 12 players, how won't you call Ahmed Musa? I don't know exactly what it is, but you know, we hope for the best for the team. Honestly, I don't want to talk too much about that. Because there's nothing that any of us can do about it anyway. But thank you very much, Mr. Dotun. I appreciate it.
He's the first player that
Okay.
when he made
Um,
mistake, some people went to different religious area to go and lay a course, like just to go and be abusing him.
we are here for another exciting episode of ET Ranks, where we rank Nigerian players based on different categories. Today, we are ranking Nigeria's best ever midfielders.
I would have dropped into world class if I want to look at some things that he did.
So if we drop him into world class, everybody in Nigeria will come for you.
You guys just hajjo me on this one.
It's like, just give your ranking and move on. Stop.
It's okay, one class. Give me one class.
Greatest Nigerian midfielder of all time. 3, 2, 1. So yes, guys, yes. If you have not yet watched our latest ET ranks video where we rank the top 20 Nigerian players of all time, please make sure you watch it on our channel, Eagle Tracker. There have been so many comments. Some people are fighting us. Some people are agreeing with us. Somebody said we should have ranked Sunday Olise. That Sunday Olise is a midfielder, is not a winger. So many different opinions, but I can guarantee you that it is an entertaining and very educational video. So please, if you haven't watched it, make sure you check it out. And next week, our ranking of the top 20 greatest ever Nigerian attackers of all time will be live on the channel. So please make sure you check that out on Eagle Tracker, our latest series, ET Ranks. Everyone that has been watching it has been enjoying it. Even if you disagree with us, you are still going to enjoy it a lot. So thank you very much. Please like the video if you haven't liked it already. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And if you would like to support our efforts financially, please leave a super chat or a super thanks if you are watching on demand. And we really appreciate you as you do so. Please leave us your feedback, leave us your reviews. What should we change about the podcast? What should we add? What should we remove? Let us know wherever you're watching or listening to us. That is going to be something that is very important to us so that we can improve and we try to get better every single week. There we have it, guys. We've covered all the topics for today. Another exciting, interesting conversation. Thank you to everyone that has stuck with us for the whole 2 hours. It's been a pleasure. Thank you to everyone that has engaged with us. I really appreciate you, from Step Monique to Victor Kobam to Naimeka to Adiola to Olu Pai Moyo, Adedotun, everybody, marketing guru Daniel Famogun, Chinwe Dumunachi, our South African brother here, everybody that has engaged with us. I really appreciate you. Thank you to those that supported us with super chats during the live stream as well. I appreciate you, KZ, Real K, and Fabituru. And then also thank you to my co-host Smilai.
Yeah.
Smilai, any final word from you before we go?
Just to say something, Elena, I don't know if you are listening. You send comment on Eagle Striker. You came on Ghana Football again to come and be abused because say the video I did on Eagle Striker, you don't agree with me there. So you took it to Ghana Football. Why can't you just stay on that Eagle Striker and comment? That's why I told him. Please say on there. I say yes. I said, which video? Say you won't use Eagle Striker. I don't agree with you. So let's do it here. Stay on that. Let's go and engage on Eagle Striker. So thank you guys. I like the engagement.
Some people are passionate when they have an opinion like this.
They will not.
They
If you
must
can't
let
get my
you know.
number,
They
you
will
go
not
chase
rest.
me. And then,
But yes, thank you to everyone, guys. Thank you. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Of course, my name is AyoT. My co-host is
Speak like you think